Alright, guys, we're live. We're not doing it on the computer today. I'm only gonna go live for probably like an hour. Hello, Gator. Hello, Gator. How you doing? I'm doing this on my phone, so no chaos. Oh, is that Misty? Well, look at that. I was just doing a setup on my computer. It's not gonna be a common thing. I think it's just like once in a while. Should probably get my charger. Oh no, not pivot.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
How's it go, man?
How you doing?
Yeah, I probably can't stay on too late because I'm I got to wake up early. It's the first day of school for my kids, so for high school.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay too long either. I wasn't on that long yesterday. I was trying it on my computer, and it was crazy. I can see why nobody goes live on a computer.
I didn't know you could. I
You
thought
need to do it
TikTok was
through
only.
you need to do it through TikTok Studio. That's how you do it on your computer.
Oh, right.
Yeah. What is your age, Angel?
22.
What is your stance?
I don't. I kind of don't know how to feel about the whole like pro-choice versus pro or whatever the opposite of that is. I feel like they shouldn't be legal, but I don't think abortions are like necessarily a positive thing. But I
Well,
don't.
if
I
you're
also
on the
don't think that
fence, wait a
men who.
second. If you
Uh,
Angel, if so, you're on the fence, right? You don't have a position, right? You don't know which way to go.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
I can convince you to go one way or the other. So I used to be pro-choice, right? But what if I gave you a few stats that would like solidify it? So,
Okay.
so what if I told you?
Can I just say before you do that, I don't think that men who have a pro-choice ideology are like doing it for the validation of women.
Well, not all of them, but definitely
Right.
a good amount of them.
Yeah, definitely maybe some idiots, but not like I think it's
Well,
just an opinion.
what if I told you that 60% of the 1.4 million abortions we had this year, 60% of them were men coercing women into it because they didn't want to pay child support? That would be bad, right?
Yeah, that seems pretty bad.
What if I told you that half of those abortions, the 1.4 million, that half of those women didn't even use protection because they didn't think they would get pregnant?
Yeah, well, that's called being an idiot. So
What if I told you that the other half of that coin, the other 50%, only used one form, and out of that half, only 20% used that one form properly?
yeah, I don't
That's
think.
bad, right?
I also think it's like if you have intercourse with someone, like you have the chance of doing that. So
Well, what if I
it's
told you
a
that
risk,
Planned
right?
Parenthood's plan? What if I told you that Planned Parenthood, their website tells you by the numbers statistically that if you use two forms of birth control in combination, you eliminate 99.99% of all unwanted pregnancies. That's all you had to do. And
Yeah,
out of the 1.4 million, what's that last little percentage? How many abortions would we need if people actually did that?
not a lot.
0.01% of those 1.4 million babies
Yeah,
wiped out, right? We would just eliminate it, right? So at the very least, you would agree these are irresponsible people, right?
I would agree
And
with
at the
you.
very least, if it's ending a child's life, it makes it even worse, right?
Yeah,
So there you go. Now you're pro-life.
yeah,
Oh, I forgot one little detail. There's 73 million abortions globally every year. That's more than all of the people that died in World War II. Every year.
yeah. That's no bueno.
Is that good for society? Is that normal and
Well,
healthy? Yeah.
I don't think society. I don't think humans need to like keep populating the earth. We have too many humans on the planet, so I'm not saying it's a
Well,
good thing that abortions happen, but
here's
I don't
here's
think
the other thing,
it's bad
right?
for society.
So, well, here's the other thing. Japan, their economy is falling apart. It's collapsing. They're desperately creating artificial wombs. I know because I'm working with the American team that already created one. And Japan's doing that because their economy is collapsing because they're not having enough babies. And guess who is next on the chopping block? Us. We've scared the hell out of our young people, telling them that the world's going to end in 10 years because of global warming, that none of them are having kids anymore. We've had a dramatic drop in people having kids,
You think
and that
like
and
so
our economy will collapse.
people choosing not to have children is going to impact the economy?
Hold on, time out.
Well,
You
that's how
said
Social
that,
Security works.
well, hold on, and you just said that we have too many humans on the earth already, implying that we're overpopulated. We're not overpopulated.
Oh, definitely not. No.
Yeah. Joel was just saying that like literally countries are collapsing. They're
Yeah,
like
Japan.
yes, not just
Because-
They're
Japan.
not having enough
Because
babies
people are
to
choosing not to
maintain
have
their
children.
infrastructure. They're,
Yeah,
yeah,
our
they're
birth
not having enough babies
dropping.
to handle their infrastructure. I mean, and that's how Social Security works. You need at least 2 kids for every 1 adult for it to be sustained. It's a Ponzi scheme, the Social Security. So we need more kids. Just
I
from
just
that
think
standpoint.
that humans are using too many resources on the planet, so I don't think like we have like
Well, that's a different
shortage
problem.
of
Like we can
humans. I don't think
adapt.
that's a thing.
That's an entirely different problem with an entirely different group of solutions, right? So we can adapt. We've done it throughout history, right?
Yeah, I just don't understand the argument that we need to keep pumping out babies because we're like
Well, we should.
a
No,
dying
I'm not
race.
talking about that. I'm just saying, at the very least, we shouldn't be putting babies into bellies when we have options, right? And we're not lazy about it. That's what I'm talking about, right?
I would say, like, I agree. We shouldn't be bringing humans into the world that women are wanting to unalive. I don't think unaliving our children in the womb is the solution to not having enough resources.
I'm not saying that's a solution either, but I just don't understand the argument that we don't have enough people.
We don't. We're
Well, again,
we're not
yeah.
overpopulated, right? So
I
there's a study from the NIH. I'd have to go in and grab my iPad. I
Well,
might have it. I might be able to drop it from my phone. Give me a second.
I think I know the study that you're talking about. It's talking about like
The
we've
overpopulation that we can actually like the whole world can fit into Texas with room, right? So
no, it's I think they said like the United States, they can fit the United States and
I don't
In
know.
stand
one
them
state, yeah.
shoulder
I
to
would have to look it
shoulder
up.
in
Let
New
me
York
No,
City.
I do know what Smiling is talking about. I just don't remember where it's from. I've
Yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah, I have it. I have the study on my phone. So let me see if I can drop the link in here.
Well, despite
If you
being
could
able to
DM me.
fit, despite being able to fit like shoulder to shoulder in a city, we are the most impactful in terms of plastic and permanent damage that we're causing. So there are problems, right? But there are also solutions, right? We don't know if AI is going to be able to give us all the solutions to dealing with those problems, and we
Probably
just
not
become
anytime
incredibly
soon.
efficient.
But
Yeah,
this
I mean,
still
we don't
isn't a
know.
moral justification for unaliving children. I
Right.
mean, you wouldn't
Yeah.
say that like, hey, the resources are short, let's go unalive newborns. This
Okay,
isn't a
but
Yeah,
moral
there's
justification.
alternatives,
okay,
right?
but okay. Can
Hold on. Can
you
y'all
real
see
quick?
the?
Because
Can y'all see
I
the
want to.
link in the
Wait a
comments?
minute. We were talking to Angel first.
Yeah, we're talking to Angel, but can y'all see the comments or the link in the comments?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to copy it.
So yeah, that's gonna be
How'd you
the
get that to
we're
work?
not overpopulated.
I can't copy it. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
can.
if you're gonna go with
Screenshot.
overpopulation, you wouldn't say that every time a newborn girl is born that we should resort back to what China was doing and unaliving them, right?
But you have to screenshot the link and then click on the link from your photos. At least that
Oh my
you
God.
Yeah, unfortunately, that didn't work. I
yeah,
don't know why that link didn't work.
yeah. I don't know
So,
why it's not
did
working.
anybody hear what I said? No.
Yeah,
I
we heard
did.
you.
I
Yeah.
did, Missy. I was waiting for Angel to answer the question.
Yeah, so Angel, you wouldn't say that, like, since you say that the world is over, the United States or whatever is overpopulated, that we should do what China did and just start offing
yeah,
newborn
I'm not saying
girls.
that. And I also don't think I don't
Okay,
necessarily think that
so
the
hold on, let me land my plane, right? So if you're saying that we can't do this to newborns outside of utero, right? What's the morally relevant difference that we should be able to do this to newborns in utero?
I also don't agree with just going around just doing things with other people and just like doing that to your kid that's developing in your body. But I just don't believe it should be
Well, you're
illegal,
up
I
here
guess.
arguing that a woman should have the choice to unalive her child, correct?
I'm arguing
In
like
utero.
in in the situation that I guess like how I'm trying to justify it is like you can any dude can just go ahead and like get someone pregnant, I guess, if you're being like malicious or you have bad intentions, and then you can just like escape off the face of the earth, and then the woman has to deal with like
Bro,
people
that's still
growing
not
in
a
their
moral
body.
justification. If you think all single moms should
That's
be
just
able
like
to unalive their children,
I do not think
no.
I
But,
would
like,
also
So
it's-
what's
say,
the
like,
morally
he's
relevant
not gonna help out
difference?
with anything like and I have
So
to
yeah, so yes. Let's say
hold
I
on.
just get out the.
One second. I just want to say this, Angel. We would hold the man accountable for this action. Also, it
Oh
takes
my
two
God.
people to create this child, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it should be just up to the woman's decision. It should be both people are held accountable. The man.
Well, yeah, Angel,
create.
like, yeah, when I had IVF as a father, I had to sign paperwork that granted, exactly how those embryos would be treated. So I wanted ethical IVF. So I wanted 3 fertilized and 3 put in. So I didn't want any destruction of the embryos. I didn't want any frozen embryos. 3 went in. That's what we had. 3 kids, right? So I have rights in that situation. But if a woman gets pregnant by me, she can go and have an abortion and I can't stop it. How is that fair? And just going back to my original point, like we know from the stats that 1.4 million, half of them use nothing, the other half only use one form. Out of that one half, Only 20% used it right. So if I took you down to Antarctica, let's say, right, and I told you it's freezing outside and you have to wear 2 jackets, you still might have an unalignment there, but it's gonna be safer than 1 jacket. If you go out with just 1 jacket and you unalive, whose fault is that?
Now,
Yours, right? So all I'm asking for is accountability on the 99% of abortions, right? That's all I'm at. Consequences for stupid behavior where a baby unalives because of your stupid behavior. That's all I'm asking for.
Yep. Can you answer
It's reasonable,
Vicky's
right?
question?
Wait, is that reasonable, Angel? What I'm asking you?
That is reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why I'm saying the pro-life thing is going to make more sense than your pro-choice thing, because all you'd be doing is endorsing bad behavior with people.
Yep.
Now I could take you over on the 2% too. I could take you over on the edge on the other side. But do you at least agree with that?
I do.
Good. That's the pro-life stance, man. You're pro-life now with exceptions. All right.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say unless so Angel, just to kind of clarify, would you, if there's a law, if like you were king for the day and we presented you a law that stated that 99% of the abortions that are being done were banned, would you sign that bill?
Would I sign that bill?
Yeah. If you were king for the day and we put a bill in front of you that said we want to be in the 99% of abortions that are being done electively, right?
I don't know if I'd be comfortable like banning it, because I feel like it's taking away like not a right, because it's not necessarily a right, but
A choice.
yeah,
So
I
let
just
me
feel
ask you a question.
that's just
Okay.
like weird. That's like a weird ground to like.
When we talk about like abortion, right? Abortion would be a privilege, right?
Yeah.
Because a privilege is something that we can take away. And we see in different states where they're abolishing abortion. Whereas to a right is something that can't be taken away. So in the case of abortion, you have a woman using her privilege to take another human being's right to life away.
Yeah.
And I would just want you to think about this, right? This is a little intuition pump. You know, as a society, right, you would say that, like, you know, how we judge how civilized we are is how we treat the most vulnerable, voiceless of our civilization, right? Our society, right? That we should be looking out for them. The ones that can't look out for themselves.
Yeah.
So here we have this entity in the womb, the most vulnerable and the most voiceless of all. And they really need that right to life. They're desperate for it. And we take this right away when they need it the most. Does that seem like something that civilized people ought to be doing?
No. It just seems like something an advanced civilization would have the capacity to do.
But just because we have the capacity to do something doesn't mean we ought to be doing it.
No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Just because we have the science to unalive children in the womb does not mean we should be out here electively unaliving the most vulnerable of our society. Children are our natural resources. We should be protecting them, not unaliving them. Excuse me, sir?
I just said that's a weird way to phrase it.
Do you have a pro-choice? How old are you for TikTok terms and services?
I'm 39.
Okay, so
He's
do
like
you?
third in line. He's like third in line. So he's.
Oh, okay. So, Ange, I just want you to think of that. That was a little intuition pump, right? But when you talk about like population control, you wouldn't say that we should go back to, like, you know, when China said to unalive little female babies outside of the womb in order to control population. So what's the morally relevant difference between the two children? one in utero and one outside of utero. Why does one get the unaliving penalty and the other doesn't?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point, but I mean, once a kid's born, like can't really like it's not like depending on its mother anymore. So
Well, it is. We
So,
can just give you the cabin in the woods, right? So it would be a cryptic pregnancy, right? This woman is stressed out. Or no, let's just say it's a natural disaster, right? She's in a natural disaster area. She had a cryptic pregnancy. She now birthed this child. No help can get to her for 3 months because of this natural disaster. Should she be obligated to breastfeed this child to keep the child alive? Or is she okay, morally permissible to just let this child starve?
you should probably feed.
So the comparisons
Hold
that
on,
you're
Bill.
making
Bill.
are.
Bill,
Stop.
stop.
I can
What are
explain
you
everything
yelling
to
at
you.
me for?
Because
Don't
you're
yell at me.
interrupting.
Yeah, stay muted for a minute. We're talking to Ange, not to you. So just give us a few and we'll
My
talk with you.
bad.
in
I
a-
thought it was open.
Yeah, it's open when it comes to like the pro-lifers talking with the pro-choicer. But
You wait your turn.
yeah, I will. We will explain these things to you in just a
So
second.
I am a pro-choicer.
Okay, Bill, we will talk to you
Oh
in a
my
few minutes.
God.
But anyways,
I'll just explain, right? Because we have different lines of questioning. Because you'd have different arguments. That's the reason why.
yes.
I think it was here first.
And the reason why, we're giving this hypothetical, it's called testing his logic. So testing the principle to see if he's going to apply it outside of the womb to any other scenario, or if he's only going to hold it in the womb, which would be a fallacy to special pleading, which means that this is a fallacious argument.
Also, too, when you say born, right? So you're talking about this entity being outside of the womb and no longer dependent upon the mom.
Yeah, to an extent.
Like
Yeah.
now, if you use this and use applied ethics to this, right? Apply this to a real life scenario. That would mean like if this woman, say she was on the table and she was one push away from this entity exiting the womb, would you say it would be morally permissible to unalive this child? Because technically it's not born.
No, I do not think so.
So when you say stuff like born, right? These are the situations that you go into. You wouldn't say that she should be out here unaliving an 8-month-old in the womb, would you?
No, I would not.
Yeah, but at the
So
same time,
hold on, I was talking. So you're gonna have to like really sit down and think about this.
Yeah, that's
Because you
a bad argument because I think children in utero still have like liability. It's just like to a certain extent, like I just believe the mother has
so
more.
you believe
Like
so you
not more
believe
importance, but
yeah, so you're gonna have to ground how the mother's right to bodily autonomy, how she deserves her bodily autonomy at the expense of unaliving her child.
but why would
Hey,
you?
hey,
Hold
Damon,
on, but won't
please,
you be
Damon,
quiet for 1 minute?
Damon, you cannot speak. We haven't age checked you nor your stance. Second off, Bill, I don't think you understand, and I think you're very uneducated because the question I asked Angel was called a hypothetical. It's to test his logic. If you want to make it assume
Since
that it's
you're
an
addressing
argument,
me, does that
if you want to assume
Oh my
that's
gosh,
an
can't you
argument,
just drop him?
show you're stupid.
it's
You
open?
show you're stupid, Bill, when you think that's an argument and not a fucking hypothetical.
Yeah. So now I lost my train of thought dealing with that, Dodo. So what was I saying?
You're talking
So
about the
when
8-month-old.
yeah, so like you would have to like really like think about when your cutoff is, right? But now you're saying that this woman, right, is her bodily autonomy. She's more deserving of her bodily autonomy than this tiny human.
I need to pause you 1 second.
Yeah.
Mary
Pause.
Jane, you are not 19. You are only 16. Stop going in pro-life lives and lying about your age. There's video recording of you saying you are 16.
Should I block her on here, or what should we do?
Yeah, I think you should.
I just
Okay, I'll
I
block
just
her real
blocked her.
quick.
I blocked her.
Yeah.
Pop. I got her.
Oh, okay.
All right. So now you're saying that this woman, right, is more deserving of her bodily autonomy than her child is to its right of life, right? Right to life.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't like there's no cutoff there. I don't think there's really a cutoff period. I think like if you
No, but it's not about the cutoff. Did you hear what I said, right?
yeah, I
You're
know
saying
I
that the
did.
woman has the right to her bodily autonomy. You're saying that this woman bodily autonomy,
I
she
mean,
has more, but here's the kicker, right? I believe that there is a rights conflict, but I also believe that the way we should resolve it is fairly. And we know that in 9 months, this human rights violation will remedy itself without anybody unaliving.
yes. I would concede and say that I'm probably more pro life than pro choice, but I still am just on the fence of like
Well, I mean, if you want to shoot me a follow and I'll shoot you a follow, I'll host lives, shoot me an inbox because abortion is bad for women too. I know you think that as a man, as most men do, they want to protect and they want to honor women and they want to cover women, right? So they want to give women choices. But this is bad for women and it's bad for children. We have empirical data that says that, women that receive these abortions are more likely to unalive themselves, have unaliving thoughts, you know, prone to
yeah,
sleeping
nobody
around,
wants to have an
depression.
abortion if they don't need to.
She
It's
can
probably
she can have a
traumatizing.
baby, then she can unalive herself. Just
Yeah, but these are what empirics tell us
Yeah.
because we know that it goes against a woman's nature to unalive her child.
But also to say, like, if women weren't out here wanting to get an abortion, then they wouldn't make that decision. It would be their last option. Did you know the statistics actually show that abortion is the very first choice the woman makes? We have statistics showing this. Like, so if women aren't wanting to get the abortion, then why is this their very first option that they turn to before any other option? There are a ton of other options that women can seek, and they're not seeking them, they're seeking the abortion directly
It's
first.
also what doctors also recommend.
yeah,
Yeah.
but also there is some women that have trained of guys, then they get pregnant. They don't know who's the father,
Who's
and they
the
get
other guy on a
abortion.
different account?
Wait, attorney, we don't even know your stance or age, so hold
It's like
on.
the other guy on this
A
other account.
train of guy. That's disgusting.
What are you talking about, bro?
I know. It doesn't matter. Just because they don't know who the daddy is means they should be able to off it.
No,
Like,
I'm
bro,
not
Wait,
saying.
come on.
I'm
Wait,
not
hold on.
saying.
What's
I'm
your
not
age? What's your age?
37.
Okay, thank you.
And are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Yeah, I guess you can
For
move
life,
on.
obviously.
Pro-life. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and drop. I do have to get to bed.
Wait, are you guys like finish the conversation?
I can finish it.
Yeah, she can finish it. I'm gonna drop and go get ready for bed. I do have class at noon
What
today.
else you?
Right.
Women
Yeah,
Bye,
have trained of
so
guys, then
Bye,
they
I love
complain
y'all.
later why they get pregnant.
so hold on for a second. I was talking to Ange real quick. So Ange, right? Like we have empirical data, right? Where women who do receive these abortions are like 150 more times to self delete successfully, have self deleting thoughts, prone to schmug addiction, prone to sleeping around, and prone to depression. Like it's the California Medicaid study and the Martha Shuping study and the Loja study. So why would you give women the privilege of doing something that hurts everybody involved?
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
I think we should probably just cut that cable that make them pregnant for women that are addicts, or so we avoid these things to happen.
Oh my
I
gosh.
just raped someone. It
Thank
was
you
an
for
So
having
we
me.
should
accident,
just
bro.
violate
My
women's.
name's my arse is
So we
crazy,
should
man.
just preemptively just violate a woman's bodily autonomy.
No, I'm
Yeah, I
not
already
saying
did, you
that.
Yeah,
fucker.
because they might not never recover.
Wait, this guy. Wait, can this guy like wait? It's not his turn. Okay, we're gonna move on to Nate then, because Nate was next in line. What is your Asian stance?
I am 19. Sorry, excuse me. Recently turned 20, actually. My birthday was a few days ago. I'm 20 years old and I'm pro-choice.
All right, Steve, would you like to take this without being interrupted?
Great. So why are you pro-choice, Nate?
There's various different reasons, but I guess I can start off with a pretty common argument I like to use. Generally speaking, pro-choice in the way that it's commonly implemented legislatively seems to mimic prohibition. Prohibition policies don't work. We
Hold
knew
on
in
for
the
a
night.
second. Hold on for a second. You seem to be going into the pragmatics of it. Okay. We're up here having a normative ethical debate. Like first we get through the prescription, the why, and then we get into how we apply it. So do you have a normative stance?
Normative stance. So would you want me to make like a moral argument then? Because I can do
Yep.
that too. Okay, sure. Um, Generally speaking, when you talk about uh, abortion, I've been in this call for a minute. I've been listening to a few things you've been saying. A few of you guys seem to equate a human being with a fetus, which is questionable, highly
So
debatable.
wait a minute. You said the fetus is not human.
That would be correct, yeah.
Wow. Hold on. I'm writing his points down. So we have fetus is not human. Let me address that point real quick. So if I'm pregnant with
hmm
so when two humans get together, can we
hmm
make anything other than a human?
What does that have to do with anything? But I'm going to engage with the question, but
So
no.
when two humans get together, can we make anything other than a human? No, right?
Okay.
So the fetus is a human fetus. If we're on this panel having a moral discussion about ending a human life, I think the very least we can do is acknowledge that it is of the human species.
Sure, but my foot is also a human foot. That doesn't make it a human. If you
Okay,
cut
when
off
you
my
talk
foot, that
about
doesn't necessarily make it a.
when you talk about a foot, right? And you talk about a sophisticated human organism, right? Will your foot ever have moral agency or be sapient? Or does your foot have the
Uh,
potential for this?
why are we talking about potentiality?
Oh, because you want to compare your foot to a human organism, right? So we know that this embryo, based on the kind of being that it is, has a potential, okay, for moral agency and sapience, right? Whereas to your foot, doesn't. So
Okay, can I
therefore
address that
comparing
point?
so therefore comparing your foot to the organism, to a human organism, is disanalogous.
Okay, so can I respond to that? My foot,
Yes.
in the same way, my human foot, in the same way that a human fetus is human DNA. Right? Now, the problem that you're having with this moral argument when you equate a fetus to a human is that a fetus, up until a certain point, does not have the sentience, it does not have the autonomy, it does not have the rights of a human being. To equate a human fetus to a human is actually uh, more of a false equivalence than me equating it to a human foot. The human fetus has more equivalent to my foot up
So
until a certain point than a human
all
fetus
right,
does.
all right, all right. So can you answer my questions really quickly? Because
Sure,
what
go
you're
for it.
saying is not as not analogous. Will your foot ever have moral agency? Yes or no? Does your
And
foot
I
ever have
answer,
the? Can you not pivot from my question?
I'm not
Will your
pivoting from your
foot
question.
ever have the potential for
Okay.
moral agency or sapience? Yes or no?
So I'm going to answer your question, and then I'm going to explain why that's not a point. No, but it doesn't matter. I'm not advocating.
Okay, so when you say
Are you
no,
serious?
I
Don't
didn't
wait, wait,
I
wait. We're
didn't
not gonna
mute
do
you,
this.
dude. I
We're not
don't
gonna do
know
this.
who muted
Don't,
you.
Yeah, I
don't.
didn't even either.
Okay.
Nobody
The host
muted
muted
you,
me. Let
dude.
me finish making my
I
point.
didn't mute you. I didn't
It's
wasn't looking.
So that's all I needed to hear is the no part,
no,
right?
it's
We
not.
know that you're,
You didn't
yeah,
let me finish my
yeah,
point.
no, because all you're going to
You didn't let
say
me
is
finish my
that,
point.
no, and I'm not going to let you finish because what you're saying is disanalogous, right?
Mm,
We know
No, what
that
you're
the
saying is this
organism
analogous.
and the foot are of human DNA. Okay, we know they have that in common, right?
Wonderful. Yeah.
But
Cool.
what I'm trying to point out is that this is disanalogous
Mm-mm.
because your foot will never have moral agency and will never be sapient, as this tiny human in the womb will be. There's a
Okay.
difference between a tiny human and a fucking foot.
This is what I was afraid of going into this. Okay, because was going to go more into my point, and then you went on a tangent. So let me get into my point. Right. I am not advocating that throughout the entirety of the pregnancy that a human that there should be abortion, right?
So when's your
However,
cutoff?
we cannot we cannot talk about a human fetus as it is a human. That was my first contention. You're saying that a human fetus will become a human, but
No, it's a human. Okay, so tell
no,
me
no.
exactly. So no,
You
no,
saying that
no,
a
no.
human fetus
Okay,
equates
so
to a
you're saying,
human because it has the potential to be a human is inherently means that they're not the same thing.
oh my gosh.
Do you
Have a
understand what I'm
potential
talking
to
Okay,
have
about?
so
be a
it
human.
is.
It is
Hold
a
on, can I
human.
finish talking, please?
Yes.
No.
Please,
My
can I say what I need to
okay.
say?
Yeah.
Okay, Nat, all right. It is a human being, right?
No.
Okay, it is a human being at conception. Despite the
No.
fact that you don't, can you be quiet? Thank you. Okay, it is a human being at conception in its perfectly natural environment, in its perfectly natural developmental stage. I would argue that there is nothing more human than being a fetus or an embryo. For crying out loud, we have more adults on this earth who have been fetuses. What's more human than that?
A human being. Then a
That was
human being is more of a
circular.
human than a female. How
That
is it
was
circular?
circular.
Let me.
You said what is more human than something that becomes a human, and I'm telling you that
So
that's
when
just a
does it
human.
become a human? When does it become a
Certainly not.
human?
Certainly not at conception.
So when
No,
does it become a human? When do
I
we
would argue.
all of a sudden become human?
I would say
We
probably
already
a.
went through this, okay?
Oh my
You might
God!
be
Just let me
talking
finish my
about
fucking
personhood.
point.
No,
I
because what you
said
oh my god, I'm getting ready
no
to crash
because
out
Yeah.
if he
I
says it's not human one more time.
Hold on.
Can I take
Over.
a
Can I
can
take
I take a
over?
shot at him real quick?
Yeah.
so go for it. But hold
Alrighty,
on.
Nate.
Before you get going, I just want to say the only reason why I'm getting a little bit heated is because I can't seem to finish my point. If you disagree with my point, just let me finish. That's all I ask.
Let him respond.
Alrighty,
Okay,
Nate. So
go for
let's
it.
go over the basics. Let's go over the basics real quick. Uh, do you acknowledge? So, based on what just was said, you don't acknowledge that it's human net fertilization.
No.
Well, I think that a little bit of the problem for that is you're conflating personhood, and philosophy with biology and species. So when we say human, what she's talking about human, she's talking biologically, it's a human at the moment of fertilization. Do you acknowledge this?
I'm willing to acknowledge that. However, yeah, I'm willing to acknowledge that. Go on.
Great. And when we do you acknowledge that it's alive?
Depends on what you mean by alive, but I Probably.
meaning the
Mm,
7 characteristics of life, meaning growing, changing, developing, reproducing, uh, all that good stuff.
stimuli.
sure.
Just
Sure.
Great.
perfect. And when we
Okay.
mean, and when we talk about being, again, I think you're conflating philosophy, personhood, being a person with biology and species and existence. When we're talking about being, we just mean that by the definition of existing. There are 3 states of being: inanimate, dead, or alive. A chair, a 200-year-old dead corpse, and you and me right now. We're alive. We're changing. We're growing. We're developing. We're reproducing. And by reproducing, I don't mean offspringly. I mean
Yeah, I get it.
cellularly.
Yeah, cellularly, yeah.
So, do you acknowledge that it's a being now?
So you're talking about personhood, which we can get into personhood.
Yeah, I was always talking about personhood.
Well, maybe
I
the
give it back
next
to you,
time for your
Jacob.
argument, you should say that you're talking about personhood and not it being human and alive and all this other foolishness.
Foolishness, okay. Yeah, sure. But
Okay, so what
to
is your
elaborate,
definition? So what is your definition of personhood?
my definition of personhood, I would say that around if you are a being that has a consciousness or perception to some sort of stimuli, then that would probably be like the one of the bare minimums to having like a personhood, so to speak.
So you're
However,
saying, stimuli. When's your cutoff?
uh, whenever it would gain like some sort of sentience, probably.
So you don't even know when sentience is. You don't know when sentience happens. Correct.
Whether or not I know exactly when sentience happened doesn't necessarily discredit the fact that my cutoff point would be sentience.
Okay, so is sentience a necessary qualifier or a sufficient qualifier? Meaning, necessary meaning that this entity has to be sentient in order to get moral consideration.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a necessary qualifier.
Hmm.
All right. And you would say your definition of sentience would be what?
Mm, it's a very vague question, but I suppose my definition of sentience would probably boil down to something like um, somewhat ability to react to stimuli, to express discomfort or comfort, um, which to my understanding fetuses can do at a certain point.
Wait. You said
Uh,
reactive stimuli. I had to cut it in. Reactive
Yeah,
stimuli.
I'm gonna cut in because I was gonna give him the
Well, hold on. You need to address the point reactive stimuli. Like, all organisms can do that. So, by that definition, it would be sentient.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
responding to
a
stimuli.
lot of
Responding to stimuli is one of the 7 characteristics of life.
Yeah, so that would be the embryo. That's what I was writing down. So that means your cutoff would be conception.
no.
Okay,
So
so
I
then
have a
you're gonna have
question.
to. So if you're gonna have to, what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to revise your definition, right? And then you're talking about react to comfort. So then I would ask you why, okay, does harm have to be experienced in order to be morally relevant?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Why does harm have to be experienced in order to be morally relevant? Because you're saying it has
Uh,
to react to this, it has to be comfort, it has to feel comfort or discomfort. So you obviously think it's okay to unalive it because it can't
mm,
experience the harm that you're doing. So why do we have to experience harm in order for it to be morally relevant?
I would say probably be well. I wouldn't say exactly that because contrary to, because I'm assuming where you're going to go with this is, oh, if someone was in a coma and they can't experience comfort or discomfort, then would it be okay to just kill them? I'm not necessarily saying that, because contrary to someone like that, a fetus doesn't really have prior experiences up until that point.
So you're saying that now you place value on past sentience, right? That still doesn't
Somewhat,
answer
yeah.
my question, right? Okay, why do we have to experience harm in order for it to be morally relevant? Because I wasn't going with the coma baby. I want to know, why do we have to experience this harm in order for it to be morally relevant?
In this instance,
In any instance,
no, in
because your
this
principles,
instance,
no, because if you're going to plead to where the child is located, right, that would be a fallacious argument. So while I'm testing your harm theoretic, right, your harm theoretic should apply in and outside of the womb. So you're saying that we cannot unalive this child. We can unalive this child because it can't react to being comfortable or uncomfortable, meaning that it can't experience what is happening to it. So why does harm have to be experienced in order to be morally relevant?
well, causing harm onto something just creates uh suffering, and you don't want to create suffering. You want to avoid suffering, and harm does lead to suffering.
So you think that due to the fact that this child can't suffer, that
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to unalive it?
That's an
And you
oversimplification of my
and you
total
want
argument,
to
but that is a point. Yeah.
great. So do you think that we should not allow sentient beings to suffer?
Do you think we should not allow sentient beings to suffer?
Yeah, we should
Yeah,
avoid for sentient beings to suffer. Correct?
to the best of our ability, actually.
Yeah?
To the best of our ability.
Okay, so you would say that we should have avoid. Okay, great. So are you familiar with Papua New Guinea?
I'm not actually.
Oh, great. So there's an indigenous tribe in Papua New Guinea called the Seaman Warriors, right? And so the Seaman Warriors, they are, in order for their young men to become warriors and have rites of passage and reproducing, they're supposed to drink copious amounts of semen straight from the elders of the tribe.
Okay.
So we looked in on that and we were like, oh my gosh, what is going on over here? This is horrible. These young boys should not be doing that. And we removed them from that tribe. And in removing them, these children suffered.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they suffered mental anguish. They wanted to go back home. They had self deleting thoughts. They wanted to do this act. They had been groomed for this act. This was a part of their culture. So, in removing them from this tribe and not allowing them to do this act, they suffered. So, if you're saying that we should not allow sentient entities to suffer, you would
Mm-hmm.
say that we should have left these children here to do all these immoral acts.
Why are they immoral?
So, you don't think young boys are doing weird, drinking copious amounts of semen straight from an old man is immoral?
Why is it necessarily immoral?
Oh my gosh.
I'm asking you a question here. Why is it
I
immoral?
would say
If
that like, you know, having a young boy, okay, perform, I can't even say it, on TikTok on an older man, right? Okay, is sexual abuse.
you're focusing really hard on the optics.
No, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
am. I would
Yeah.
say that this would be wrong on the moon. This would be wrong in Papua New Guinea. This would be wrong anywhere
So your moral
because we
philosophy.
don't Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
your moral philosophy is therefore objective, and so by essentially creating a worse outcome for these children, you would say that that's okay because
Mm-hmm.
I see. That's very interesting, actually.
Yeah,
So
and
that
also
actually,
too,
Hey,
and
you know
also
what?
Nate,
too, hold on for
Nate.
a second. Can I say this really quickly? Also too, right? In that one generation of children suffering, okay? We've broken a cycle of generations and generations of their children doing this immoral act and thinking it's okay.
I still
Like the
fail to
fact that
see
you're
where the
willing to
immorality is.
unalive on children performing this act on elders of the tribe is absolutely disgusting, bro.
Yeah, this is
The
not a good
f-
look. Yeah.
the f-
Like
no
I'm done. I'm done with
the
him.
prob
Hey,
the
can I ask Nate a question real quick?
I go for it. Yeah.
So Nate,
Hmm?
I'm listening to the argument. I'm hearing that this is a pro-life and a pro-choice.
Hello?
You good?
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
You
I'm
keep cutting
sorry, can you
off.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I can
keep.
hear you.
There's like
Yeah.
a huge
You
delay.
just cut off at like right before you're gonna ask the question.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I don't know if that was me or not, but I would just like to ask, do you
I'm not.
realize like
I'm not
how
tripping.
women and
Yeah.
men create a child? And I would like to ask, and if what the men can do to prevent a child being made.
What?
What?
I don't know if it was her just cutting out,
I'm
but
sorry, I'm hearing pauses and
Having a lot
I
of.
can't hear
I'm getting
myself.
a lot of lag. Having a lot of lag.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
there's
that.
a whole
I'm hearing
bunch of
that
lag.
too.
Yeah, I think Candy had a question. I also think Kenzie had a question as well. I think Kenzie, the one. I think you had a question.
Give me a sec. I hear myself in my headset real quick. Give me a sec. Let me work on that. Can you guys hear me? In my
Yeah.
head?
Yeah.
Am I echoing?
Yeah. Not really. I think you're good.
So, not meaning to backtrack to a conversation you were having with Pi earlier, by
Hmm.
your logic, abortion should stop at 16 to 18 weeks of pregnancy because the baby can hear, and by 24 weeks, the baby can feel and move around in the mother's utero.
Ideally, the earlier the better. Yeah.
Because by the screenshot I'm sharing right now, it tells you
Hmm.
when a baby can hear in utero.
Yeah, the earlier the better, honestly.
So do you mind reading what is on my screen for everybody?
Yeah, sure. Fetus can typically begin to hear sounds in the wombs around 16, 18 weeks. By 20, 24 weeks, the fetus ears have developed enough to perceive and respond to sounds such as the mother's heartbeat, breathing, and voice. At 24 weeks, the fetus's hearing continues to develop and it can hear a wider range of sounds, including music, conversations, other noises from the outside world. Yeah, I don't see how that's inconsistent with the point I was making.
You were saying that a baby, aka a fetus, is not sentient until it can hear and feel pain. By the 16th week of pregnancy, it can hear. By the 24th week of pregnancy, it can feel and move. So by that logic, you don't want abortion to happen after the 16th week. Am I understanding correctly?
Sure.
Well, the
That's
thing is,
why
anybody asks, so if you value this thing as sentience, are you a vegan?
Mm, I'm not a vegan necessarily, but I also think that human sentience has a little bit more uh, value than
Why? Why?
generally because,
Yeah.
yeah, honestly, um, generally speaking, if you want to hear my full stance on it, I I was making a moral argument mainly because I tried to make a pragmatic argument and then I wasn't allowed to.
Well, I
Um,
mean, if it's a pragmatic
so
argument, hold on. If it's a pragmatic argument, your stance would be even have more problems because you don't even know when.
no, this was not my pragmatic argument.
No. But this is
But
important, right? Sentience, knowing when sentience begins, is important pragmatically. Because you're going to try to apply this to law, you'd have to know when it begins. So when it comes to pragmatics, that would be important.
no, when it
You
comes to
need.
when it comes to like my moral, because where I stand, right, I'm only applying this moral argument because I was kind of told to give a moral argument.
Yes, because
My hold on. If in my ideal world, my I would probably abort a fetus later for other reasons, but basing it just on when it gains sentience, yeah.
Wait, for other reasons, you don't really care about sentience then, and it's other reasons.
no, he was talking about bodily
No,
autonomy and
it's just
rights.
one of the various reasons, yeah.
So I was addressing sentience because he said it was a necessary qualifier. But he was
But if we want to
also,
talk about like human rights, that's even later.
yeah,
Actually, people don't really gain rights until they're outside of the womb. If you want to
yeah,
like
Can,
start, if you
can,
want to talk about like human rights, then that would be like late
yeah.
term,
And I would also
like
say,
third week, like
yeah, I got you. So I would also say that, like, when you're talking about human rights, right, I would say that the fairest place to apply these rights would be at conception, solely
I would
based on
heavily
okay,
disagree.
can I finish, and then you can disagree all you
Hmm.
want after I'm finished. Okay, you could,
Hmm.
rebut what I'm saying. So I would say that the
Hmm.
fairest place to apply these rights would be at conception, based on the kind of entity that it is, human and alive, with a teleological predicate towards sapience and moral agency. And the reason why I would say this is because when we put extra qualifiers, okay, on human rights, it leads us to a lot of atrocities. Like, you look at what Mustache Man did, you look at
Hmm.
slavery, now you look at abortion, where since Roe
Oh,
v. Wade, we've unalived, I think it was 1.5 billion children globally. So why wouldn't
they're
we
not
apply
children.
human rights at conception when this entity needed these rights the most? Why is
I
the
think you're
mother
make.
why
I'm
is the
sorry, I didn't mean to
mother
interrupt you.
more deserving of her bodily autonomy than this entity is of its life, for its life?
Because mom has always had a right to bodily autonomy. Like, if we're talking about like since you said Roe v. Wade, you're talking about the United States, and women have every person that is born has a right to bodily autonomy under the Constitution,
I understand that,
and a baby does not.
but
You
that's
realize that,
still,
right?
no. You're telling me,
real
hold
quick,
on for a second.
real
Can I?
quick.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let Miss. We don't want her to get mad. Let Miss respond.
No. So right now, what you're using is circular reasoning. Okay. You didn't rebut anything that I said. You said that a woman has the right to bodily autonomy because she has the right to bodily autonomy. And you said that the fetus doesn't have any rights because the fetus doesn't have any rights. So this would
I
be begging the question. You're inserting your premises, you're inserting your conclusion into your fucking premises. You're begging the
I'm not
question.
necessarily.
Why?
I'm not making
Why?
an argument. I'm just
Okay,
telling you.
so
re-
why, as I said, is the mother more deserving of her bodily autonomy than this entity is of its life? Because I would also say the right to life would supersede the right to bodily autonomy.
just want to address this false information that the Constitution gives born people rights to body autonomy. That's not true. The reason why Roe v. Wade was overturned in the first place was because it was discovered that abortion is actually against what the Constitution stands for and what is listed in the Constitution. So no, body autonomy starts before birth.
Yeah, and
Wait,
Chewy,
where?
hold on for a
Where is
second.
that? Where would that
Hold
be?
on. Hold on, Chewy. I know he's pleading to legality, but I know he wouldn't understand that he's pleading to legality.
Well, Gator
Chewy in the
can
comments.
respond. Yeah, Gator can respond.
I wouldn't necessarily
Legality,
say
I was
I'm
correcting his
not going
false
to
information.
legality.
Well, Gator can respond to that. At that point.
Yeah, I wasn't appealing to law. I was just
No, I was talking about Nate.
okay.
When Nate is bringing up the Constitution and the laws and stuff, he is pleading to legality.
To answer your question, I don't know if it was the 13th or 15th, one of those two. Basically, it says it's basically it gives you the right to due process.
Yes,
Every single abortion.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was one in between. I was close. So the 14th Amendment says that
The
everyone
14th.
has the right to due process in the United States, and every single abortion has not given that unborn the right to due process. It was basically simply, hey, you want an abortion? Here's you an abortion.
Well, the problem is that the reason why that 14th never applied was because fetuses weren't and aren't considered human beings. Well, they weren't.
Yeah,
I don't know how it is now.
Oh
But
my gosh.
Yeah, they said the same thing about blacks and Chinese.
And that's what I
you would think
brought
they
up
would have learned
earlier.
some-
yeah, but
you would
I'd
think they would learn
say,
by now.
but I would say that like a Chinese person and a black person are not I would say that they're like I don't like this false equivalence that like a fully grown or
Descriptively true.
Chinese person or like a like a living black person has the same like value as a fetus. I don't
Okay,
like
but
those
but
two at all.
but you still haven't rebutted my
Fine, fully
point,
grown.
right? When you're talking about like, a fetus, right? Now you're like it's giving bully vibes. You want to unalive it because you're bigger and you're stronger.
No, absolutely not. Actually,
Well,
like
then yeah,
want
that's exactly
I
because
don't want
I would say
I don't
I
want
would
to
say
abort
Nate,
anything.
Nate, if
You're
you're
building a
up
straw
here,
man.
Nate, if you're up here advocating, okay, for women to unalive their children at its most vulnerable
It's very interesting
state
rhetoric.
because they can, yeah, W rhetoric. Because they can, right? You are advocating
Not
for
because they can.
abortion.
Yeah, I'm advocating for the right to have an abortion, but I feel like the way that you're phrasing this
But you
is
haven't
under the
answered
impression that
any
I
of my
like abortions, which I
questions.
don't.
Well, if you didn't
Mm,
like them, you wouldn't advocate for them. I don't like abortions. Do you see me up here saying that a woman should have a right to choose whether or not she wants to unalive her kid?
that's a straw man. Yeah, no, just because I'm advocating for a woman to have a right to an abortion because of various different reasons doesn't necessarily mean that they're a necessarily good thing. I think that a society
Let
would
me
probably
ask
be
you
a
a
best if
question.
we can
When
get rid of abortions, but we can't. We don't
yeah, we
have the
can
resources
get
to
rid
get rid of
of
abortions.
yeah, we can get rid of
We
abortions.
Absolutely
What
do.
resources do we
okay, so
need
wait,
in order
so
to
wait,
get rid
so
of
wait, so wait.
abortions?
Guys, one
Hold
at a
on for a
Oh,
time.
okay,
second.
wait. I like
One at a
this.
Oh
I
time.
my
like this. I like
gosh.
this.
One at a time. One at a time. All right.
I like this question. Do you mind if I go?
Yes.
Okay. If we want to talk about getting rid of abortion, like we would need to invest in education, invest in infrastructure, invest in foster care systems. We would need to make sure that the environment is okay.
Utopian
We need to make
fallacy.
Yeah, no, this is a utopian fallacy, sir.
not
And which is
necessarily.
yes, it is a utopian fallacy because right
It's not a
now,
utopian. I'm not advocating for
yes,
utopia. I'm just
if you're
advocating for
saying, hold on
socialism.
for a second, hold on for a second. if you're saying that we need to fix the foster care system, which there's no
Hmm.
correlation and causation to abortion and foster care, we need to fix the infrastructure, which once
Hmm.
again, there's no correlation and causation to abortion and the infrastructure. What else do you say we need to fix?
Didn't someone say earlier that one of the reasons why people weren't having children
What
was because
else
they
do
didn't
we
see it? Hold on,
Oh
just
my God, can you tell me what else we
no,
need to
you keep
fix
interrupting
so
me.
I
Stop
can
crashing out because you keep
I'm
interrupting
not
me.
Guys,
Let me
crashing
finish my
guys,
out.
goddamn point.
hold
Oh
on.
my
All right,
Oh
gosh.
my
all right.
gosh. W
Let's
crash out.
Thank you.
let Nate respond, and then also let him ask the question.
He
Good
keeps
answer.
pivoting, but that's
I'm
okay.
not pivoting. Your name is literally pivot. Anyway,
Yeah,
as I
because
was
I'm used to
saying,
dealing to
I'm
people
not.
like you.
I'm used to dealing with people like you who advocate for fascism. But
All
here,
right,
but
all
you.
right, all right. Just
Yeah.
respond,
Oh
and then
man.
All
answer
right.
Nate's
Here we
question.
go. Here we go. So, if I'm not making a utopian fallacy, I'm just advocating for socialism. The one of the big
Oh
reasons
my God.
why I don't think we should one of the reasons why we cannot have we cannot get rid of pro-choice, we cannot get rid of abortions because we don't have the means to take care of people. People are starving, people don't want to have children, and when they are having children, they're uneducated about the process. They're having unsafe sex. So great, we invest in education so that we make sure people have safer sex, so that we
So
don't have to
so
abort as much. We reduce crime the best we can. How do we reduce crime? We reduce
oh
poverty
my
because poverty is linked
gosh.
to crime. So how do you reduce
Misty.
poverty? Well,
This is crazy.
you invest into
Misty,
Are
well,
can
you
y'all
I
gonna
ask you
let
a
invest
him
question,
into
monologue
Misty?
like this?
underprivileged
Are y'all
communities.
just
All
gonna
right,
let
all
So
him
my
right,
point
monologue?
Misty,
is,
all
can I
right. I did allow
can
him
I
to
ask Misty a
respond.
few questions?
Yeah, but yeah, after that, but I did allow Nate to respond. So like, I would want him to answer
yeah.
Pitt's question.
So what you're saying is this, right? Now, like if I
Hmm.
asked you, right, if we could just go unalive poor children outside of utero, what would you say? If we could
Absolutely
go
not.
unalive newborn babies because of the infrastructure, because we're not socially inept to take care of them, would you say that this would be morally permissible?
No.
No. So now you're going to plead to where the child is located to justify these circumstances, correct?
No, because I don't think a fetus and a child are the same thing.
Okay. So, all right. So, what are you saying? Because it's sentient? We already went through the sentient thing, right?
I just think a child has more, like a child can reason better, a child can feel pain, a child
Newborn
can have
babies.
experiences, a child can have experiences, a child can perceive things way better and far more effectively than a fetus can,
Okay.
by
So, what you're
far.
saying, all
Ableism.
right. So, what you,
For you to
hold on.
equate,
Oh
for
my
you
God.
to equate a
How?
child to a fetus is impossible.
Wait a minute. You said more, so you value a threshold. So you do realize a pig is more sentient than a newborn, right? You said more. You said more. So,
Yeah.
so you value a threshold. So then a pig would have more moral consideration than a newborn.
No, because you can call it, I don't know. I just don't think that a pig and a newborn baby, like, I don't think we should treat them the same whatsoever.
Wait.
Why? It's more sentient.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're not the same species.
Why would that matter?
Why would that matter? Why would
Well,
it
I think
matter
that
if you value
human,
sentience?
Which is
because
also
If you're saying that it's
because
okay to
I value,
unalive this child, can
I
I
value,
finish? So if you
mhm.
value human sentience, right? Why would you deprive this human being of ever becoming sentient? Why would you deprive some, if you value something, right? You wouldn't want to deprive somebody of it, but you're over here saying you value human sentience, but yet you're really quick to deprive another human being of it. Why?
You asked me, why would you deprive it of, you said, why would you deprive it of it
Oh my God.
If it was going to have sentience, that's what you said. The fact that you're willing to say that I'm depriving it of sentience because I'm aborting it prior to it having sentience demonstrates it doesn't have sentience. You realize that,
Okay,
right?
all right. So we
So we
understand that
don't
this is a
value sentience.
non-sentient entity, right? That's not the question I'm asking you. What I'm asking you, okay, is if you value something, why would you deprive an entity of something that you value? You're saying you value sentience. So why are you depriving another human being from ever being sentient?
Because it doesn't have sentience yet.
Okay, so that
That's
would be
why.
descriptively true.
Can fish
Mhm.
touch on sentience?
Yes, fish. We've been waiting.
Wait, why? I thought Misty was doing a good job.
You wanted to speak?
Well,
No, I was gonna get into a rhetorical rant, but it's fine.
yeah.
Don't worry about me.
He hasn't answered any of my questions.
Well, I think his
I
point.
did. I just answered it.
I think the point is just
No,
Yeah,
what
but it
you
was
used was
circular.
circular reasoning. You said because it's not sentient, we can unalive it. You didn't answer the question, why are we depriving the entity of something that you place high value on? You just said because it doesn't have sentience, we can unalive it. That would be circular reasoning.
May I try to take no jab at it?
sure.
I don't want to steal
think,
from you.
the point that we've been missing. I mean, he says like I think his point is special pleading is like you don't value the sentience in animals, even though this being you said it has more inside the womb, right? So like, why wouldn't you value a pig sentience? But I mean, answer Pivot's question.
Okay, Nate. So you're
Hey, buddy.
cut off it. So basically, you're saying no sentience, we can off it.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Does that also mean like zero sentience, zero consciousness, zero psychological profile equals zero moral consideration?
I didn't hear the last bit. Zero psychological profile, you said?
Yeah. No consciousness, no sentience, no psychological profile, nothing of that nature equals zero moral consideration.
I suppose so.
Yes or no?
Do you mind if I ask where you're going with it? Because
No.
my answer right now is yes, but
You,
I want to know where you're going with this.
you'll find out. So, yes. Perfect. Beautiful, even. Okay, so let's just say hypothetically that sentience start. There's actually studies that say that starts as soon as 12 weeks. So, let's just say hypothetically that starts there. So we got a mom. She's pregnant. She's pregnant, and right at the 11th week, she's at home, watching her Pirates of the Caribbean movies because she has a really big fetish for Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, she has all the dolls, all the ships. She has rum in the refrigerator on ice. She has all this good stuff. So she thinks to herself, these pirate baby dolls are really, really suckish. Like, they're cheaply made, they're not anatomically correct, they're very short. So she decides, you know what? I have a non-sentient, non-conscious, with zero psychological profile being in my womb. So she makes an appointment to Planned Parenthood and asks, hey, can you inject this thing with a really strong dose of general anesthesia that is so strong it'll never gain consciousness, sentience, or psychological profile for the rest of its biological life? They say yes. This happens later on in the pregnancy, let's say 24 weeks, when it has arms, legs, eyeballs, all that good stuff. She goes like, hey, can you take this thing out of me, chop off one arm, chop off one leg, scoop out an eyeball? They say yes, this happens. Later on, she gives birth. Then she visits a medical supply warehouse, a carpenter, and a Halloween store because it just so happens to be October. So she buys an eye patch, hook, and a wooden stomp. She attaches it to the now born child, and still no psychological profile, no consciousness, no sentience. It's just a born child. She's cuddling with it. She has what she's always wanted. A realistic pirate doll baby. It's anatomically correct. It's growing. It's changing. It's developing. All the equipment works. She's been watching Pirates of the Caribbean with it all for a while now. It's kind of like her. It's kind of like her body pillow. Then she decides,
Jesus
pirates.
Christ.
Pirates really turn me on, so I'm gonna now use this as a pirate Smex doll. Should this be allowed?
Oh my God.
Yes or no?
Am I allowed to say no on the basis that that's really gross? But
Well, you can say no. You can't say yes. I just want to know which one.
oh,
I mean, you just
because if I
oh, sorry. Continue.
Yes or no? Is this morally correct?
morally correct.
Not even morally correct. Is it morally permissible?
Ooh,
Or permissible,
great
whatever word you want to
question.
use.
Morally correct? Not
Or
necessarily, but
or
no, I don't
morally
think that
permissible.
morally
Okay.
permissible.
Taking a really long time to answer the same question.
This is a really hard hypothetical.
It's really not.
It really isn't. But go on. Please answer.
I would say if my argument is to be moral, if I'm going to be consistent, then my answer would be yes, because it doesn't have sentience, it doesn't have its own bodily autonomy, it doesn't have anything really. It might as well be just an inanimate object. So in that same sense, according to my moral philosophy, probably would be.
Wait. So when you say yes, are you saying this just so that way you can be logically consistent, or do you actually believe this?
I don't actually believe someone should do that. No.
Why don't you answer in the way that you feel like people should answer, not just what's going to get you brownie points to win the debate? That is absolutely fucking vile that you're willing to die on that hill just
I'm
for
not
the
willing to die on that
debate
hill.
brownie points. You just did.
And die on the
You
hill. I'm
literally
gonna.
just did. You said, yeah, no, that's permissible if I'm going to be logically consistent. Yeah, that's permissible. And you were just going to fucking run with it?
Honestly, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? Sure.
Bro.
Because the problem is that
Well,
you guys are
so
Wait, Nate.
you guys are
basically open the
inherently
door
putting.
for.
Yeah.
You're basically open the door for rapists, schmurderers, and P3DOs.
Oh, and I just wanted to say he
Wait.
also unalived on the hill of Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the second hill. Yeah.
Wild. Bro, are you
Yeah.
you're not real right now, right? You're an NPC. You were programmed to say this shit?
To be fair, he holds a moral subjectivity when it came to young men drinking the semen of old men.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
kind of weird to hold a moral subjectivity about that. But at
interesting.
least he tried to explain himself, but not very well.
Oh, that's bro.
I mean, this
You
is
know
not-
what?
Wait, Nate.
Now
I have
that
a question. Real
hold
quick,
on.
Nate.
Wait.
I have a question for you. Just a real
You
quick
can
question.
you can
Real quick,
ask,
real
but
quick, real quick, Nate.
yeah,
One
sure.
sec. Yeah, I have a question. Just a simple one.
Mhm.
Do you live near a school? If you do, you should fucking move.
I know it's given check his hard drive.
Okay. If you
Thanks.
guys don't mind, now that you've laid this out, now that you've laid that out, I believe that I definitely need to go looking more into my own personal philosophy, because I think you guys did point out some really
Ding
good
ding ding
contradictions
ding
within
ding
it.
ding 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 ding.
Before you
Maybe
leave,
there's
I
some.
have a question.
Hmm?
It's for Nate.
Which is next question.
That's
Five.
not what she said. Next question.
Wait.
What was Kenzie's question?
Yeah.
This is gonna go personal. Hypothetically, you're brain dead. You have no sentient, you have no stimuli. Does that give your family the right to pull you off of life support because you're not sentient anymore?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically, brain unalive and you to be alive anymore.
Wait, Kenzie, can I use your hypothetical and then add to it a little bit?
Yeah.
I pass the torch.
Awesome. So Nate, same hypothetical, right? You have a brain dead patient, right, attached to life support. But
Yeah.
what I'm going to add to this hypothetical is that we have medical technology from like the 25th century, right? It's just one pill. If you take this pill and then force it down the brain dead person's throat, this individual will no longer be brain dead. It will bring them back from this brain
Okay.
dead state. Do you think that there is a moral obligation to give said pill if the person does not have some prior writings or any kind of legal paperwork that says they don't want to be brought back?
Wouldn't that fall into the like their parent or guardian or something like that?
This doesn't answer my question. It doesn't matter who it is. I asked you.
Yeah,
is
right.
there a moral obligation?
I mean, I'm gonna answer your question with probably not moral obligation because we don't necessarily know what that person wants.
Well, yeah, no, the
So no.
individual, like, let me add to this, right? This
Yeah.
individual wanted to live a full and happy life. Let's say they were like 25 years old.
Oh
right?
yeah,
They
then
had
give them the
plans for
pill.
the future. Oh, so there is a moral obligation to grant them their sentience and their consciousness back, their mind state.
Well, if they have previously expressed that they want to live, then yes.
Okay, so what if you have an individual who didn't expressly state, well, keep in mind the individual that I mentioned previously did not expressly state that they want to live. They just said that they have plans in the future, right? Let's say you have an individual, same individual, but they never once said that they had any plans in the future, right? They didn't say that they didn't want to live. They didn't say that they did want to live. They were just living their life. Do you think that there is a moral obligation to give this pill to this individual?
Not necessarily so.
Why not?
If they want to live, then yes. But if you don't
That's not
know,
answering my question.
well,
Why?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer your question because there's not necessarily any moral obligation to give someone a pill if they
Wait,
want to live, not knowing if they want to live or not.
no, I'm asking you, why do you think there isn't a moral obligation?
Because you don't know if that person wants to live or not.
So you should just assume?
Wow.
You just shouldn't.
You think you should just be able to assume for people whether they want to live or die rather than to let them make that choice for themselves?
Well, I mean, they don't seem to be able to make that choice for themselves.
Well,
Because
so you
I mean,
don't think it would be
you guys all seem to be
Yeah,
pro-life, so you guys are
wait,
inherently anti-bodily
real,
autonomy.
yeah,
So
real quick. First off, Nate,
yeah,
nice pivot.
that's
That's straw
that's
man.
morally consistent
Yeah,
with your
Nate,
framework, but
that's
yeah.
very that's a
Body
nice
autonomy, we just
pivot,
don't
and
think
it's
it's
a horrible.
absolute.
Well, it's a horrible straw man that you just did, Nate. You don't even know what my stance is. You don't even know if I'm pro-life or pro-choice, right?
I'm
You're just
pretty sure I
making
can
an
infer.
assumption.
I
Yeah,
can
well,
probably infer.
okay. Well, do me a favor, rather than assuming, right? Why don't you do the due diligence of using your fucking brain, right? It's very simple.
I
You
can
don't
say
know who. You
I can
don't
say
know
the
who.
same to you, considering you don't know your own personal philosophy
Wait.
or rhetoric,
What do you
for
mean?
that matter.
What do you mean? How can you infer that?
You've this entire time you've been in the chat. This
Today,
entire time
Julian.
you've been in the chat. This entire time you've been talking. You've been spewing pretty
Yeah. What?
pro-life talking points
Wait.
while
Like
going
what?
against my
Name one.
pro-choice talking
Yeah.
points,
Nate.
and
Name one.
yet,
What inference rule is he
because
using?
Name
you
one.
you
Nate. You're
oh, here we
stammering.
go.
Name one.
Well, because you keep fucking talking over me.
Oh, you
Name
don't like
one.
that?
Your hypothetical right now. You just said you don't think it would be morally applicable to
Did I say that, or did you
grant.
say that?
You said that.
When did I say that?
This you said it when you were posing their hypothetical, and then I answered not necessarily so, and then you said, "Oh, you don't think that it's morally applicable?" Yeah,
Wait. Do you think
that's the
that? Do
pro-life
you think
talking
that was?
point.
Yeah, Nate. You don't think that? Do you genuinely think that was my worldview, or do you think I was just posing this as a clarifying question to your absurd claim? You don't see the absurdity in your own worldview? Actually, no, you do. You admitted that, right? I was pointing out the absurdities in your claim. It doesn't matter where I'm pro-life or pro-choice. I can still point out that you're fucking stupid.
I'm gonna point out that you don't know your own worldview either, so you're fucking stupid too. Have a good night.
Well, we're not unaliving on graping children and whatnot.
Yeah,
Wait,
all
did
right,
he
he's
run?
finally gone. Okay,
Did he
Free.
run?
What's your... All
Or
right, Free,
pirate
what's your...
spec stalls.
Wait,
Yeah.
real quick.
Maybe I
Did he
should take it
run
a
or
step
did he
further
get
with that
dropped?
hypothetical, meaning that she finds out, ooh, I could probably make a killing off of these pirate doll spec stalls, so she gets pregnant again and then sells it to a
No,
rapist and then Pete
important
3DO.
question. Important question. Did he run or did he get dropped?
I think he dropped.
I didn't drop him.
Oh, what did he say? Because I got a phone
Well,
call right.
he said
Came
he's
in
about to
here
leave. He
with
said he's
you,
about to leave.
girl, with these diamonds on my chain.
He said he was about to leave. Okay, Free, what's your age? What's your stance?
Again, I'm pro-choice.
Anybody want to talk to Free?
Go
Hey, can I
ahead,
just ask
fishy,
a quick
fishy.
hypothetical to expand on the conversation you guys were just having?
Well,
It's in the chat.
Yeah, I'll entertain it, I guess. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so if abortion is made illegal, will children have the right to sue their mother for not aborting them if they don't like the standard of life provided by the mother?
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
Hold on, I'll entertain it. So you're saying that because someone has a less quality of life because of whatever situation their mother was in, would they be able to sue or file some sort of suit against their parent, or at least one
Yeah,
parent?
the
Right? You
mother
said
made the
mother
choice.
specifically, right?
Well, yeah, because it's the mother's choice to make to give life, right? So if you're taking the mother's right away, are you going to grant the children the right to sue the mother if the mother is unable to provide any sort of
Well,
decent living?
I don't like you're inferring something with giving life. Giving life is just a chance, by the way. You can't force a biological process. However, the
By
answer
removing
would
access
be
to abortion, you are forcing life.
It's already...
well,
life is already
yeah. When sperm meets egg, life is already created, so you can't force that. But no, I would say that if a woman is obligated, or whoever has the parental obligation to their child, to make them the best life, and then that's the best life that they see fit. If not, they can pass on the obligation. But no, I would say that there would be no, and this is just coming from a legal standpoint that I have no real background in, I would not find grounds in a child suing their parent because they had a crappy life.
Oh, okay.
So, can you provide the argument that is logical and rational that leads to a pro-choice conclusion?
So I would say that we currently allow for countries to use lethal force against children, and it is morally and ethically allowed.
Well,
I
that's
would rather see. I would rather see.
geopolitical in nature. It's geopolitical in nature. Like, I would say that war is a very specific topic in which collateral damage does happen. However, I believe that there are maybe even possible moral outcomes. Like, I think that us invading Germany to end the Schmatzi regime, I know that some children may have died in that. However, there is no overall good, but that just gets into value claiming. So this would just be a value claiming, like a modified trolley problem that you're giving me, which removes all moral consideration. However, I would say that abortion is
Hold on.
a
Before
moral debate.
you start grandstanding, did you just say that there are moral considerations for unaliving children, just not in the case of
No,
pregnancy?
there's no moral consideration when you prevent me with a modified trolley problem, as in children unaliving in abortion and then children unaliving in war. You're removing both moral considerations when you're presenting something like that.
Moving. I'm sorry, I don't understand exactly what you mean by moving, because I think that they're parallel in nature. Because if a child can pose no threat and still be justified in having its life taken,
I just say it's a red herring. Not
granting
Yeah,
granting
yeah,
the
it's
mother
definitely
the
more like
same
a
access
red
that countries
herring.
have,
It's a
is
red herring because it's
allowing access to equal right to self-defense.
It's a red herring because it's not related to abortion in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Showing moral consistency.
Yeah, you don't know our stance.
So it's directly
Yeah, I would feel
equivalent
bad.
to
Yeah, Here, I'll give you my answer.
Oh, sorry.
I'll give you my answer. I feel bad if a child dies in war, and I would also feel bad if a child dies in abortion. Now, can you please provide the argument that leads to a pro-choice conclusion?
Okay, so the CDC reports a 43% maternal morbidity rate, so that provides a statistical justification for the mother being allowed to defend herself.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so you said this is like unaliving during pregnancy is 43% of all women that give birth, or what is the morbidity rate, or what
That means that
encompasses
they're
morbidity?
are you not? Well, hold on first before I explain. Are you not familiar with the statistic at all?
I know about the maternal mortality rate in the United States is 0.0019%, but I have not heard this 43% morbidity rate.
Okay, so
what is encompassing
in
morbidity?
in establishing self-defense justifications, you do not have to fear death. That's why if any action can lead to permanent or even serious
Grievous
bodily harm
is what it's called. Grievous body harm.
Hold on.
Right. So what is taking place in a pregnancy can lead to permanent bodily damage. Therefore, and it's almost 1 in 2 chance of it happening to the mother.
Yeah,
so it's a statistical
subjective,
likelihood that allows the mother to preemptively take
This is
action.
the own argument of abortion, because abortion can do the
Yeah,
exact
this is
same.
just what this entails is that it's going to harm the mother at any point. So this is just subjective. I mean, women have had hard pregnancies. Women
I have to
had
ask
very
one
easy
question
pregnancies.
real quick. This is definitely a pro-life debate, right?
I'm
Absolutely
assuming.
not. It's a pro-choice because you have the choice to take the life or not.
But also too, like we could present you like instances where like the woman's body could be damaged from like taking care of her children outside of utero. Like if a child had like F piles,
F5s, yeah.
F pies, and he could
Pies.
only drink the mom's milk, and I didn't want to get milk knots or like saggy boobs or like an infection
Infected
in my
ducts, yeah.
breast.
Or the fact
So
that
the
you
difference
might
in
just
your
not
hypothetical
produce.
is escapability.
Yeah,
So
like
establishing
you would have
self-defense
to
justification
say,
for self-defense, you
but
cannot
no,
walk
but
away
can
or
you hold
pause
on?
pregnancy.
Hey, can you hold on?
You can use formula to feed a
Excuse me,
child.
sir.
Wait, hold on.
Can I
hold
finish
on, hold
talking?
on. Wait, you
F5.
didn't
You have to realize these men that are talking right now are for the suppression of women.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
you didn't introduce
Yeah.
you.
You can't
wait,
use
hold on.
formula for a child that has an allergy.
Yeah, like
It's
F5.
hard out here for a simp.
Okay, so there are other options, correct? Another
No,
woman could
if your
provide
child
milk.
has an allergy and can only use your milk, then your child doesn't have any other option other than your milk. And if you don't produce,
They don't know that because they're
It's not even
single.
close to what we're talking
Dude,
about.
no one is not having
Well-
We're talking about internal bodily damage, and you're talking about producing
Yeah,
milk.
but what
You
I'm
understand
saying
it's
is this,
it's not equivocal.
free.
Yeah.
Just let me explain it to you really quick, okay?
No,
And
it's
please
not.
don't-
It's
Can you
ridiculous.
not interrupt me? What we're doing is we're testing your harm principle. We're using a reductio ad absurdum.
The
where
level of harm
you-
does not equal.
Okay, so if I don't want to get an infection in my breast, I don't want my ducts to get infected, I don't want to get milk knots, and I don't want my titties to sag, okay? Because this is harmful to me. You would say that
I don't want you to
hold
step on my
you would
shoe, and if
say,
you step on my shoe, I'm justified in taking
Let
your
her
life.
talk,
You
you
understand?
douchebag.
Yeah,
Let her talk.
so-
She's a woman. Let her
so
talk.
Shut the fuck up.
how is stepping on my shoe okay? Like if you stepped on my shoe, I could probably wipe it off.
or you could
Or
buy
I'd probably be
shoe.
pissed or buy another thing of shoes or
boob job.
whatever, right? But when I'm talking about getting like an infection in my breast, fevers,
understand.
chills, milk knots, and that stuff, I think that's a little more harmful than somebody stepping on my shoe.
So
So
you're
what I'm trying
equating
to say
a
is if I'm
fever?
testing your principle
No, baby, like,
outside
you
of
could
You're
lose your
testing
utero,
boob.
anything.
You could lose your boob. You can get breast
bro,
cancer. You can.
yeah.
There's a lot of things that go into it. You're not understanding, and you're not wanting to listen, Free.
You can
Hey,
get
Free,
breast
how long have you
cancer
been married
from
Oh
for?
my
You
breast
can get
God,
feeding.
breast
Free.
cancer from an
Guys,
infection
one
in
at a
your breast.
time. One at a
Free,
Hold
time.
on,
how
you
long
can
have
get
you been
breast
married?
cancer from breastfeeding?
One
You
at a
can get a
time.
breast cancer from an infection that you get from a duct being clogged in your breast while you're breastfeeding. If it's
Free, how
if a
long have you
duct
been
gets
married?
clogged. I have been married for 10 years.
No, no, no. I'm asking Free.
Wait,
Oh, sorry.
hold on. Hold on. We didn't get to you
What does
yet.
that have to do with anything?
I'm asking you how long you've been married
This
for.
is kind of
Go
irrelevant.
stand in the mirror and ask your questions.
Well, because that it makes sense him asking, because if you were married to a woman and you had to deal with all of this and you had to be with a woman dealing with all of this, then you would have an understanding, but you
I have
don't.
3
So that
children.
means, okay, so then
Just
you
rhetoric.
had 3 children with women that you weren't with.
Exactly. That's why I'm just being quiet
Yeah.
because
You had
what
3
we're
children
doing.
with women that you weren't with. You didn't go through pregnancy with them and you didn't see them postpartum. So you have no understanding. Just because you
Hey
got
kids, come
3
here.
women
Say
pregnant
hi real
doesn't
quick.
mean you
Exactly.
know anything.
Free,
Just say hi
Free
real
stands
fast.
for freeloader.
Yeah, freeloader, dude.
Yeah.
Who's making the argument they have to experience something
You're
to
hoping that what you assume
No,
is
he's
No,
a
true.
because
freeloader.
what he
He's a
was saying.
freeloader.
Because I just dismantled your entire
No,
argument.
you
No, no,
didn't
no.
Free,
dismantle
No, no, no.
anything.
Guys,
And
one at
from
a
a man,
time.
let
Make
me
One at a
let
some
me
time.
sort
answer as a
of
man.
Wait,
As a
wait,
man,
one at a
Free,
time.
you're
try to
just
make some
nothing but a
sort
cum
of
dumper.
self-defense
One at a
principle that
time.
would
We
entail unaliving a child in utero because of some like weird arbitrary thing.
Weird arbitrary thing that is maternal morbidity rates.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Free,
again,
Free
what
is
is
just a cum
encompassing?
dumper.
Yeah, what is encompassing morbidity? You're just talking about like some sort of level of
Those
harm of
I
some
don't know. You
kind.
can ask me. I
it's
had one
the
when I was
CDC.
16.
The CDC can define all. It's all defined by the CDC, not me. So if you're interested, go do the research.
Okay, what
wait,
does the
but you're making
CDC
the
What
argument.
define?
Wait,
is
hold on, hold on, hold on.
what's
You're
the
making the argument.
article?
You're making the claim from this. So why don't you bring it up?
Talking about this, and you don't already know.
No,
This is
because
your
wait a minute.
claim.
Hold
Wait,
on.
guys.
This is
Yeah,
your
I was having a
claim.
conversation with Free in the comments, and I asked him for a source, and he was bad faith. He's not going to supply one. He doesn't feel the need to
Wait,
supply
this is
resources.
your claim. This is your claim.
Is there
Yeah.
a source that
Free,
the
you
children
made
in Hiroshima and Nagasaki had IEDs?
free,
Excuse
free,
me. Hello.
free.
Wait, pivot, wait,
No,
wait,
Oh
wait,
my
no, I asked
God.
if they didn't
pivot,
have.
wait. This is
The
your
source that the
claim.
children in Hiroshima and
Excuse
Nagasaki
me, I'm
had.
not talking about that. This is your claim. This is your argument, right? So you should be able to bring it up.
Yeah,
This
the
is
burden
your
of proof is on you.
I'm on my
The source
laptop.
is
What
the
about
CDC.
Nagasaki? I'll look it up.
No,
Hiroshima and
you.
Nagasaki, he
What
claimed
about
the
it?
children there had IEDs. Therefore, it was justified in unaliving them.
I don't remember him saying that.
What?
Oh my God.
Guys, I think we're in a pivotal moment right now where we need to let Free speak what he believes, and
So
then whoever has your
Republican
your
Party.
MO, you need to fact check him 100%.
Oh yeah, let me.
So
I got it.
let's hear it, Free.
So, children had IUDs in Hiroshima.
No, IEDs.
IEDs.
Yeah, that's not my claim.
You just mentioned it, dog.
Well, it was Fish didn't say IED specifically.
That was the conversation that was had in the chat.
I didn't
Well,
say anything.
I know. I didn't know.
No, but what we're talking about was the what did you say? Morbidity rate.
Okay.
So we need the article, all right, or a
The
link to
morbidity
the
rate?
article, whatever you want to call it.
Well, you
that
should
you
know
were
what it is if
talking
you want to
about.
Google it
Well, he
later.
said
Oh
that
my
there
God!
was
Guys,
But
you need
hold
to
on for a
educate
second.
yourself.
Can I say this really
Guys,
quickly?
yes.
But what you don't seem to understand, Free, right, is that you made a positive claim. Your argument, your stance hinges on this information. So the burden of proof would be on you,
The
not
source
us.
is the CDC.
Okay, so I just
The-
looked up IED children in Hiroshima. This is what comes up. It's birth defects among the children of the atomic bomb, in utero exposure of atomic bomb radiation, and mental retardation. Children of
Oh!
Wait. Hold on.
sorry,
I'm
that's what it's what it meant. It's what it says.
wait, you
You
Sorry.
have to
censor
say
that word.
restart.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
sorry.
can't say
Sorry.
the
That's
R
what
word.
it's what the article said. That's my bad.
I should drop her and let her back up because they
Yeah,
tag
I'm gonna drop you in a second. I'm gonna let you back up immediately.
Okay.
But I mean, how does that relate to IEDs? Like, I thought IEDs were made in Afghanistan.
Okay, so
well, they can be
military can be
Improvised
justified in
explosive
unaliving children through military strikes.
Let your
red
MO talk.
Well, he never said that though.
No, but they were getting to a point, and you guys shut her out immediately.
No, because I had to drop her. For
And certain
Yeah, 'cause I said a wrong word,
like
and I'm
certain
sorry.
words aren't automatically flagged. I
No,
just got
the
off
R
of a live
word.
where I
Oh
said
my
all
gosh.
the R's.
Yes, the R word is. But anyways,
The R word is flagged.
Fish literally said he would feel bad if a child was unalive in war and an abortion. So there's that. They're both wrong. How about that?
How about we go with your MO and let's listen what she has already searched for us.
It's just saying children of Hiroshima, helping hands, the lives of atomic bomb orphans, but there's nothing about children having IEDs.
Yeah, I don't see them. Yeah, doesn't say anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know what Free is talking about. That.
Freeno, it looks like it's fake news, Freeno.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Okay.
Also, too, like you
Hold on,
would
can I
have
speak?
to.
Can I
Can I
speak real
say this
quick?
really quickly?
I don't
you
know,
would have
Freeno.
to- Hold on, freeload. Yeah. What?
Sorry, that's
Okay,
just funny.
guys, focus.
So
when
you
the
would have
nukes
to,
were
if
dropped,
you're saying,
what
but
threat
if
did the
you're
children
saying
pose?
if you're saying that we have the right to aggress upon this child in utero, right?
Okay, so
you would
what
have
you're about to
prove
talk
to
about
us,
is irrelevant to what
we
we're
would
talking
have
about.
you would have to prove to us that this child is aggressing upon the mother by simply being there.
I presented you with statistics provided by the CDC.
About atomic
That she just debunked.
She's
IEDs
just
and
a
children.
bum.
Hang on, I
The
want to talk
morbidity.
about
Okay, so you
Freeno.
guys are obviously
Freeno,
unable to
you're
track.
spitting
So
fake news,
when
Freeno.
the nukes were dropped on
Hello,
Hiroshima and Nagasaki,
Let's get back to abortion,
what
please.
threat did the
Freeno
children
has
pose
fake
before they were
news.
unalived?
Freeno, you got
None.
fake
They
news,
pose
brother.
no threat.
Yeah, but freeload.
Was still justified in unaliving them, correct?
Freeload, you
America
got
was.
fake
It was
news.
wrong anyway.
It was wrong. We all know it was wrong. It was also wrong what Japan did in Hawaii.
Wait, so you can be justified in unaliving children?
No, you cannot be
The
justified in
government about that, baby. That's not on me.
So
Yeah,
what
we
threat did the children of Hiroshima and Nagasaki pose
We don't care about
to
the
justify
children of.
unaliving
Hold
them?
on. Hold on.
Okay,
we don't
so you're
care.
not pro-life.
Can
You
I
don't
say
care
this
about the
really
children.
quick?
Wait, guys.
Oh my
stop.
God. We don't care
Okay,
about.
this is the
Okay, how
thing.
about this?
Okay, wait,
Hey.
hold on. Hey, who's this talking? This is a red herring. This doesn't relate to abortion. This doesn't justify abortion.
Care about the
Exactly.
children. You
Okay.
just said it.
Fish
How about
literally
this?
said, wait, hold on. Fish literally
Care-
said he would feel bad if a person was unalived in war, just as if they were unalived in abortion.
Yeah.
So they're both wrong. So
Who
there's
gives a
that.
shit about your feelings?
They're both wrong. So that's what he said.
Okay.
What we want is a moral justification for abortion.
The other one isn't.
Here, Free can
Oh my
argue with
God.
me. Hi, I had an AB when I was 16 years old. Free, how do you feel about it?
Where?
Wait, no anecdotes, please. But
How do I feel about your choice to
All right. So
your medical
with
choice?
with your
It was
43%
not a medical
morbidity,
choice.
with your 43%
I
morbidity rate,
don't
which
care.
is short-term and long-term illnesses that mothers may occur, why does this give the woman a justification for unaliving her unborn living offspring?
I will give you the answer to that question.
wait. He's saying maternal morbidity. You do realize there are negative health
Morbidity.
effects. Yes, I
You
said
guys
morbidity.
not understand how language?
Short-term,
Yes, I said
Morbidity is not a
morbidity.
word.
short-term, long-term
I said
illnesses
morbidity.
that
I will give you the answer to all of that. if
Oh
you
my
allow
goodness,
me.
Joey, it's not your turn. So you do realize health effects can come from abortion as well. So you're just saying, well, because pregnancy has negative health effects, okay, abortion has negative health effects too. What's your point?
You have to consent to what health risks you're willing to take on.
Yeah, why does this
you
action?
can't.
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
is pregnancy something you can consent
You can't
to?
consent to a health risk. It's a biological process you can't consent to.
Yeah.
You can't consent
Yeah.
to cancer.
You can remove consent at any given time. in any other
consent to the
situation.
flu.
Well,
If I invite you
then
into my house and
hold
you
on
start
for a second.
disrespecting,
Another
can I
time.
remove
You didn't
consent?
invite somebody into your house. It's materializing in your house.
No, that person was placed in the house by a male.
No, they weren't. They weren't
No,
placed
it
there. They're
wasn't.
materializing out of nothing, out of thin air.
In
No, the
addition
male.
to
There was a
that,
process that included another human
yeah,
being.
but
It
Free,
didn't.
in
It didn't
addition to
happen out
that,
of thin air.
if I invited you into my house, right? And then I told you you had to get the hell out of my house or off of my property, I would have to give you a reasonable amount of time to get the hell off of my property.
9
So
months.
we know that a reasonable amount of time for the fetus would be 9 months.
Wait,
What I
so
would
if
say even more
if you
importantly,
invited me into your
and
home
this
and
is
you told me
Oh
to
my
leave, you would
goodness.
give me 9 months to leave if you asked me to leave?
No, but what
That's
I'm
an
saying is this:
unreasonable amount of
are you
time.
not? Are
Do you
you
know how
not
ridiculous
tracking,
that
Wait,
argument is?
bro?
You've
Bro,
got to be kidding me.
Hello.
bro, are
Wait,
you
wait,
not
wait,
tracking
pivot.
the conversation?
Wait, pivot. You should have changed the hypothetical, right? So, like, if the mailman were to place mail in your property, right, and actually took them 9 months to actually reach your property, right, would it be permissible to unalive them in that case? Because it took them 9 months to actually get to your house and put the package on your porch, right? It would take them 9 months to get off the porch and back into their vehicle. Would it be permissible to unalive them prior?
Could I have 30
Show me
seconds
a
before I
case
Joey, you're
before I
not.
leave?
Oh my
where
goodness,
something
Joey.
similar
Oh
to this
my
was argued in
gosh.
court.
But what you don't seem to understand, right? He's still not tracking the conversation,
Not
right?
delivering mail does not equate to bodily harm in any way.
Freeload. Can you stop interrupting so I can get you to track the conversation, please and thank
Be
you.
respectful if you would be
Okay,
respectful.
no, I'm trying to be respectful, but you
Don't
keep
be
cutting
disrespectful
people
and then
off.
expect respect.
Oh, my freeload, stop.
Okay, Freeload, you are being pretty annoying, but
Yes. So what we're trying to say is this:
Don't
is
cry
if
when you're
I
disrespectful.
invited somebody into my house,
They wouldn't have
okay,
to leave for 9 months. I got
can
it.
you shut up for a minute? Thank you.
how about this? Hey, Freeload, if you had an uninvited
oh
guest
my
in
God.
your house, what would you handle that with?
Okay,
Hold
we're
on
just
for a
gonna-
second.
I think a
Can I-
reasonable
can
amount
I
of time for
finish?
them to leave would be
Wait,
like a
okay,
couple
guys.
hours.
Let's change the format. Let's just keep it between pivot and free. Let's just keep it that way.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to say is this, right? Is if you came into my house and I said freeload, you have to leave, get the hell out, right? And you had your hand on the doorknob. Do you think it's reasonable for me to pew pew you in the head when you have your hand on the doorknob and you're preparing to leave?
Are you done?
Yes or no?
Wait, yeah, so how does the baby have its hand on
Okay,
a doorknob?
because, right, we know that at conception, okay, this child is preparing to leave the womb. So at conception, this child is growing and developing so that it can leave. In addition to that, right, when you talk about the body as property, how do we hold an amoral entity to the standard of bodily autonomy of property rights? The
Alright, that's
amoral
something.
entity meaning the baby.
Okay, so hold on, I'm gonna respond. So by putting my hand on the door in your hypothetical, you're implying that I can stop the action of being in your home at any point in time. Can the fetus stop and leave the womb by choice at any point in time during pregnancy?
No, but now you're pleading to pregnancy, right? We know, okay? Just like I know that a reasonable amount of time.
Wait, hold on. I'm pleading to pregnancy.
Hold on
We're
for a
talking
second.
about
Hold
abortion.
on for a second. Okay, but I'm trying to make a hypothetical, an analogy that you're having a hard time tracking. So say I had property that was 5 miles and I caught you on my property 2.5 miles in. Do you think it would be morally permissible for me to unalive you when you're like 1.5 miles off my property? Or should I give you the time to walk that extra 1.5 miles?
9 months is not a reasonable amount of time to allow somebody to stay within
That didn't
your
answer my
property.
question. That
So
did
hold on.
not answer. But you
Yes,
did
hold on.
not
So
answer my
let's
question.
say I'm in a wheelchair and I can't leave your house on my own. Would you help me leave in a reasonable amount of time if you didn't want me in your house?
Yes, I would.
Perfect. So you're pro-choice.
No, I'm not pro-choice. Okay, like if I invited you in my house and you were in a wheelchair and I needed you to leave and you needed accommodations to leave my house, I would give you a reasonable amount of time to exit my house safely.
You would allow somebody in a wheelchair to remain in your house for 9 months before you helped them out
Okay,
of
so now
your
what
house.
you're doing is you're special pleading to pregnancy. Okay, and for this type of conversation, your framework.
In your house, are you
Can
gonna
you
feed
stop
me?
interrupting me? Maybe
Are you
if
gonna
you
make
would.
sure I'm fed while I'm in your
Oh
house
my
too,
gosh!
so I don't starve?
Yes, I am. But for this conversation, what you're doing, Freeload, is you're pleading to pregnancy. Your principles are not holding in and outside of utero. Like, I don't understand. Like, why do you people get up here and have this normative, ethical conversation, and all you do is plead to your fifis and can't track worth the fuck?
What was the relevance of that comment? I'm just
Can I
curious.
can I talk? Can
It
I
Feel
talk
was
to
better?
Free for
okay.
1 minute?
It was to show you, okay,
Grandstand?
that like rather than come up here
Irrelevantly
and learn,
grandstand?
rather than come up here and learn, okay,
You have
and
nothing to
listen,
teach.
you're just, oh my God. Anybody else want this dumb?
Yeah, I'll take him.
Okay.
If I can have 20 seconds, and
Ooh,
Yeah, have 20
no.
seconds with me. Let's go. All right, you
if
have
I
your
can have
20
20
seconds.
seconds, I will
Yeah,
leave the
go for
chat.
it. Go for it.
Okay, Free. Are you pro-choice? Or are you pro-life?
Pro-choice.
You're pro-choice. It sounded like you were pro-life.
Dude, have
Yeah.
you not been listening to the
I've been
conversation?
listening.
Okay. Apparently not. Okay.
This
All right.
is
I'm
this
out.
is
I've been
why I
listening
don't
to the
allow
conversation,
interjection.
but I just don't understand either person's points because there are a lot of theoretical ideas in there. We're not talking about real life scenarios, though. I feel like.
Okay, I'll give
That's
you
the whole
one.
point.
So the
I'll
reason
give you
why
a
I
real
am
life
pro-choice
scenario.
is because we see in society currently
Based
that there
on
are
real life, it just has
justifications
to test as
for
principles.
unaliving children, and as long as those
No, we
justifications are
don't.
allowed, the mother should
Hang
have
on.
right to the health care that allows her to protect her
No.
own
Where,
body.
hold on for a second. Where,
God.
okay, all
Hey,
right,
Just
hold
said
on
that
for a
you're
second.
Carl,
pro-life.
pivot. Give it a minute.
God.
Let other people say some things.
Okay. Oh, this is a bunch of assertions. What do you mean we? I don't know what other people think about those things. I think
Exactly.
it's wrong. I think those things are wrong. Are you assuming
We,
that?
as in the American government.
Okay, I'm not the American
Plea to
government.
legality.
I don't agree with what the American government does on a daily basis. What's your point?
Yeah, we the
Sorry,
government.
military strikes?
Yes.
Oh my
Are you
lord,
actively
military.
pursuing in the same level of energy
Another red
anti-military that you are
herring.
anti-abortion?
Another red herring. Another red herring.
Okay, if you
topic.
care about the children as much when they're in the womb as they are out of it, if you are not giving a damn about the child's life out of the womb as you do inside of it, then you're not pro-life. You're pro-birth.
That's just a utopian fallacy.
It's not a utopian fallacy. You want the child to be born, right? You're like, the child needs to be born.
Hey, we'll
Wait,
solve this with a very simple mind experiment, okay?
Okay.
Would you say that slavery was a human rights issue?
What the fuck?
Trust me, it'll track. Okay. Would
It'll
you say
track?
slavery is
No.
What does that have to do with
Yeah,
unaliving?
yeah, slavery
Okay,
is a
hey,
human
hold on,
right
hold on,
issue,
hold on. Yeah, I
right?
would say that
Owning
unaliving
people
is
is
even
wrong.
worse, right?
Yeah.
So are you pro
Wait, okay,
self-defense or stand your ground laws?
Hold
Oh
on,
my
hold
God.
on, hold on.
Yeah, let dude figure it out.
All right.
Okay.
So, would you say that we should wait to free slaves if we made sure that they had free health care, if they had enough food, if they had housing, if they had, their own land of their own and stuff like that? You're saying that we should wait to make sure that everything is good for them before we free them, or should we end the human rights violation immediately?
We should end the human right violation immediately, but
Thank you.
yeah.
Yes, welcome to pro-life.
Human rights
What?
violation currently within the
This is a
structure
human
to
rights
defend
violation.
yourself.
It is a
Using
human
lethal
rights
force.
violation.
Are you pro
Yeah.
self-defense and stand your ground laws?
What are you fucking talking
Yes.
about?
But this is
So
another
you
red
don't
herring.
value the life.
Hello.
Everybody, shut
Who's
up.
talking?
And
Who's
let me
this
talk to
talking?
the person I was talking to. That made
Wait,
no
who's this
sense.
talking? Well, first off,
It made
we're
absolute
talking
sense.
to
You just weren't
Free.
tracking.
Free was first off. Free was the op you're talking to. Like, again, what is this related to abortion? We're against these.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
He
trying
keeps
to-
red
yeah.
herring.
I'm trying to figure out what you mean that, like, me saying that we should free the slaves makes me pro-choice. Or pro-life.
Right. Okay. So.
Oh my gosh.
So when does biological human life begin?
At birth.
Wait, we're not talking.
Okay, so you're just scientifically
Wait,
illiterate.
wait,
I didn't realize I wasn't muted.
Wait, I thought we were talking
Okay.
to Free.
Well, I was trying to talk to the person who was talking to me, and then I got muted.
Now this is in chaos. Okay, we're just wait your turn. We're talking to Free at this moment.
My turn got completely smashed, so whatever.
Wait. He was here. Wait, let's just talk to Free first. All right.
So Free, what you keep doing when you're bringing up these wars and these pew pew laws and all this other stuff is what we would call a red herring. This has nothing to do with the topic at hand.
Are you life or not?
No.
Yes, I value all life.
I don't value life.
Excuse me. Hello.
Yes,
Okay.
I value all life. Yes.
So you're anti self-defense laws and you're anti the use of
Okay,
military
so
when it
what does this have
unalives
to
innocent
do?
children.
Free. What does this have to do with abortion?
So you say that it's immoral or irrational to unalive an innocent child because it's not acting or aggressing, correct? But we can see in other cases that it is morally accepted to unalive children who are posing no threat. So it is equating, and I'm checking your worldview for consistency. Do you understand now?
Okay, but it would go back to what we said before. We don't agree, okay, with people aggressing upon children outside of utero, just like we don't agree with women aggressing upon their children in utero. So just because, okay, the government might agree to it, right? This would go back to what Protect was saying. Just because the government says it's okay doesn't mean that we say it's okay. And for the type of conversation, don't interrupt me.
Hurry up then. Speed it
Okay,
up.
and for the type of conversation that we're having on normative ethical debate, right? Normative ethics. We're making all claims based on our moral framework. We're not talking about what the laws are. We're talking about from our moral framework what they ought to be.
Okay, and abortion ought be self-defense. Legally justified use of lethal force in self-defense.
Oh my God, you can't be this dumb.
Can I run a reductio?
No, Olive.
Oh, it's getting a little bit out of hand, guys.
Okay, so what do you understand what I just said, sir? About pleading to legality to make your point?
I just
Because
responded.
we all know that just because it's the law, we've had plenty of laws that were not moral. So if you're saying that just because the law, it's good, right? You would have to agree that at one time, slavery was the law.
Okay, so do
So
you
was
agree with the
slavery
current
okay?
self-defense laws?
So was slavery okay?
Do you agree with the current self-defense laws?
So was slavery okay since you want to plead to the law?
Okay,
In
so
Egypt,
my argument
men
is
can
that
grape their wives.
abortion
Is that
ought
okay?
to be considered self-defense. Okay. So do you
I'm
agree
sorry?
with the current self-defense laws?
Can you
The next
answer
person
my
that
question? I'm not
the
answering
next
any
per,
of your questions until you answer mine.
the
Since
next
you want to plead to the law, and slavery was the law, and currently men can rape their wives in Egypt, would you say this is morally okay? Yes
I
or
want
no?
a simple yes or no from you. Anything else, I will mute you again.
Clarify. You're asking if I believe that grape and ownership of humans is morally okay.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Since you're pleading to the law,
Wait, is it?
since
Are
you're
we
using
pleading
the
to legality
law,
or morality?
since you're making, because right now, right, you're pleading to the laws
Actually,
in
my
order
argument is
to
what
make your
abortion
point,
ought be.
right? So if you're pleading to the law to make your point, and you're saying because this is the law, it's good, right?
Do
You would
you
have
agree
to
with the current
agree
self-defense
with
laws?
any other laws.
With the current self-defense laws? Yes.
Oh my God.
Just humor him, Misty. Just answer his question.
No, I want him to answer mine,
He's not
Olive.
going to. So either we can move
And
the
I'm gonna keep
conversation along,
answering
or
the
it's going to be
question
stuck.
because
No,
this
he's
dude.
going to.
No, wait a
Otherwise, I will
minute.
drop
Wait a
him.
minute, Olive. He's been up here for the last 30 minutes. All he's done
Doesn't
is
equate
red
to morality.
hair,
Yeah, no, I
pivot,
heard
and
him.
not
I heard
answer
him.
any fucking question.
I heard him. I know
He
he's
has no
gonna fake.
chance.
I'm not on his side. I'm just saying so we give the self-defense principle. We allow for the self-defense. Every single fucking pro-lifer gives a self-defense exception.
Saying
Okay?
anyway.
So free not free what is it? Free nudes? Wow, unbelievable.
He's given his defense long enough.
Let me just so if your argument is self-defense. So if I'm driving through a neighborhood, okay, and I get a flat tire. This is a really, really bad neighborhood. Super high crime. The murder rate is really high. I'm broken down on the side of the road. My tire's flat. I have nothing to defend myself, okay? I'm in a really bad neighborhood. Got it? Picture this? You got this, free nudes? Okay? So there's a bunch of threatening looking people. Oh, about maybe 7 of them. They're all carrying baseball bats and they're walking towards me. Okay? Now, they could have ulterior motives. They could want to to unalive me, right? Or they might just be coming back from softball practice. Can I, if I have let's say I do have a pew-pew. Let's change the scenario. I do have a pew-pew. I'm packing, okay? Okay, they're just walking towards me, all right? I feel threatened by them and their baseball bats, okay? They haven't waved them at me. They haven't said anything. They haven't picked them up and tried to swing them. They're just aggressively walking towards me very quickly. Okay, they look dangerous. Can I just pew-pew them? You can unmute.
Under the current
Okay,
self-defense
okay,
laws,
so
you're
the
not
answer was
allowed to
no.
just
Wait, slow
Hold
down.
on,
That's
because
all I
hold
needed
on,
to
no,
know.
no, no. I get to
No,
respond.
wait,
You don't have to cut me off because
wait.
escapability.
I'm not cutting you off. I'm saying no.
Need to
Okay,
be-
what I need you to answer the second part of my
Use the force.
question. You said no, I can't. Just pew them because I feel
have
like
to
I'm
meet
threatened.
certain
So what? Okay, excuse me.
lethal force must.
Excuse me. So I cannot, you answered that part of the question. You said no. I cannot just preemptively, because I feel threatened, unalive them. Okay? There has to be what?
Imminent risk.
Exactly. Thank you.
Right, and pregnancy is inescapable, therefore it is always imminent risk.
Pregnancy in and of itself
Is inescapable,
have
therefore justifies the use of
pregnancy.
lethal force in self-defense.
Walking
Oh
through
my
a
God.
high crime neighborhood has the imminent
Do you
has
have
risk.
to wait for somebody to cause bodily damage to justify using self-defense?
That's you said no. You said I couldn't. You said I couldn't pull out my pew pew and unalive these people, even though I was in a high
given the
murder
criteria
neighborhood.
that you
Wait.
just gave, if people are walking up to you with a bat, no, there has to be other criteria that are met, right?
Tell me how the child in the womb in a normal
What are the criteria?
pregnancy, in
There are
a
usually
normal,
three
healthy
criteria.
pregnancy, which is the vast
What are the
majority.
I
three
already
criteria?
asked him this, Olive. How is the child aggressing upon the mom?
Okay, I wasn't here for that. What's your answer, Free Nudes?
A pivot, duck, and a dodge.
Are you done, Pivot?
So he was actually using the morbidity rate, which is just long-term or short-term illnesses that women could get from any pregnancy and stuff like that, like hypertension.
So it's nearly a 50% chance they're going to have medical issues. Serious.
Just under 50% chance, some sort of medical issues. Yeah, and it's all subjectivity too. That's the thing. There's like no guarantee that it would actually.
So,
happen.
Well, I
With
mean,
current-
but then,
with current
but then we
self-defense
could
laws,
go on and say, look,
Pivot.
Guys, one at a time.
So with current self-defense laws, you do not have to wait until permanent bodily damage or any bodily damage is
So I
sustained
should be able
before
to
use of
pew them.
self-defense.
Looking for.
Right, so there are other criteria that need to be met, and pregnancy
There's only
meets all
three.
of those criteria.
There's only
So
three.
just people walking up to you with bats doesn't meet that criteria.
Yeah,
Neither
there's
does
only
pregnancy.
There's only three criteria to actually use self-defense again or deadly force in using it in self-defense.
And what are those
Only
criteria?
three. Opportunity, capability, and intent. Whenever they're
Intent
doing
is
an
not required in
investigation,
some states.
yeah, whenever they're doing an investigation, they're trying to see, okay, what is the capability of the person that was the aggressor? What is the opportunity that the aggressor has had? And then what is the intent of the aggressor? Usually,
So
whenever
the
they do an
capability
investigation, yeah,
is
whenever
what
they
with
do
pregnancy? Let's break these down one by one.
so wait a
yeah,
minute,
capability, yeah, pregnancy, okay.
how does an amoral entity is capable of any of these things? How is the
And the-
fetus capable of any of these things?
So by growth, it's going to potentially cause harm to the mother.
Okay,
Just
so
by existing.
that's but
Just
that
by
doesn't answer the
ontology.
question.
That's just an
Okay,
ontological
this
argument.
isn't
Keyword was
amoral.
potential.
So okay,
This
hold
is-
on. So I'm going to show you where intent.
Oh my
and why
gosh.
intent
One at a
doesn't.
time.
Your keyword was potential, Free Nudes.
Right. Okay. So if somebody's sleepwalking in your house and they have a knife, they're walking up to you. Are you justified in unaliving them, even though they don't intend harm and they haven't hurt you yet?
How is this analogous to a baby?
How
in
is this
utero?
analogous?
Well, the fetus is not intending harm, correct? And doesn't know what it's doing, and the person sleepwalking doesn't intend harm and doesn't know what it's doing.
yeah,
Are you
if the
justified in
person's
unaliving
holding
that person?
a knife, I think it's safe to say that they're intending harm.
Well, no, but they're sleepwalking, so they don't know what they're doing.
So if somebody
when are
is,
people
if,
still
oh
holding
my
knives?
gosh,
He's not tracking.
he can't track worth a damn.
All
I
those
don't think
free
you can
nudes
track
you
with the
got.
hypothetical. You are justified in unaliving that
Still-
person who is sleepwalking, who doesn't intend harm, and hasn't hurt you yet.
This dude is dumb.
Yeah, when he has the kniffy up to you, yes, you can. if he just has the
I
kniffy in
feel the
his
same way,
pocket,
Gator.
you can't.
Here, let me change the hypothetical slightly. He's holding gestational diabetes in his hand and he's about to attach it to you. That's more analogous.
Not even close. Because
Yeah,
pregnancy
absolutely.
itself
Hold on,
can
hold
lead
on,
to
hold
permanent
on,
bodily
hold on,
damage,
hold on,
correct?
hold on. You said the morbidity rate, and one of these morbidities, and I looked it up for you just in case you're wondering, was gestational diabetes. So let's say the sleepwalking guy, he's holding gestational diabetes and he's about to attack me with it. Do I not have the right
How much does gestational diabetes weigh? Just curious.
He has gestational diabetes in his hand and he's about to attack me with it.
You can
Wait,
you
they're
can
all
give that to
raised.
somebody via, like, you can hold it in your hand.
Yeah, I'll just stipulate that you can do that. Yeah.
Oh, so you're just gonna make stipulations to make your hypothetical.
Well, yeah, more now. No,
Changing
I'm
the
not, dude, I'm
hypothetical.
helping
But
you. What are you talking
freeload,
about?
freeload,
I'm
that
helping
didn't answer.
So you made it whimsical in order to align with your
Freeload,
worldview.
that didn't answer
it's
the
not
question.
It's not helping
You're
me
saying
in
that
any
a
way.
morbidity,
Whimsical.
morbidity,
He's just
which is
making up
short-term
words.
or
Freeload.
long-term medical condition that a woman gets from
Maize is
pregnancy,
corn,
right? One
everybody.
of these being gestational diabetes. So I am making your hypothetical more analogous.
But
So now a
freeload.
sleepwalker
No, you're not.
that
You're
has
Freeload.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. What are you
No, you
talking
think
about?
you are.
Can I say this really
No, I
quick,
know I am.
Freeload? You
Oh.
still didn't answer my question. Fish was saying, right, that there had to be intent. There had to be what
Intent
else
is not
did you
required.
say? What else did you
I
say?
just proved that intent is not
Excuse
required.
me. Intent.
Opportunity, capability, and intent.
All right. So how does an amoral entity capable of these things?
So I just proved that under current self-defense laws, intent is not required. So if a burglar
Okay,
comes into your house
capability
and they
and
only intend on
opportunity.
stealing things from
Okay,
you,
so
are you
how does
justified
an
in some states in
amoral
unaliving that
entity?
burglar?
Yeah. So how does an amoral
Okay, so intent doesn't
entity?
matter. Thank you.
Okay, so how is an
We have a
amoral
right to protect
entity
our property.
capable of opportunity
Wait, hold on. So you
and
have a right to protect your
capability?
property, but a mother doesn't have a right to protect her body. Do you understand how this
Okay,
is
and
equal
also
access to
I would
rights?
like to
Property.
ask you a question too. If the entity is invited into the mother's body, right? Say the mother does, like when you have consensual schmacks, right? You consent to schmacks and ascend to the risk
Participating
of.
in schmecks
Excuse
doesn't
me, can I
equal
finish
consent to
without you
pregnancy.
interrupting me? So when you consent to schmacks, right? You
Consent to
assent to the
pregnancy.
risk that happen with schmacks, which would be pregnancy. So if the woman is inviting this entity into her body by her actions, how is this entity violating her rights to bodily autonomy when she invites it in there?
Participating in intercourse is not consenting to pregnancy.
You
It's
can't consent
ascending
Do you
to
know,
the risk of pregnancy.
Free, do you know what the difference is between consenting and assenting is?
Of course he doesn't.
Free, you do realize consenting and assenting are two totally different things, correct?
Wait,
Yes.
hold on. Give me the definition of assent.
It's just
So
it's just
Just give me the
assent,
definition
right?
real quick. I want to see the relevance to the conversation.
So assent would be that like you are agreeing to an action.
Honestly, yeah.
You're
You don't
agreeing to
understand.
pregnancy?
So you don't, can you shut up for a minute? Thank you. So you're agreeing to an action. You
So
don't
by driving a car, I'm
understand.
agreeing to
Oh
being in
my
an
God,
accident?
will you shut up? Thank you.
By owning a
You're
home?
rude. So you're consenting, so you're agreeing to an action. You don't understand the risk or the consequences with this action. That's why we say that children assent. They cannot consent. Now, when you consent, right, you agree to the action and understand the risk and the consequences with this action. So we consent to the action
Okay,
and
can I respond?
assent to the risk of these actions.
Okay, so this is why this doesn't matter, because when you buy a home, there's always a risk that there could be a burglar, but you're justified in protecting your property.
Idiot. You know something, freeload.
Oh, he thinks he's doing something really special here.
Let me ask
So
you.
just because you own a home,
Yo,
therefore
freeload.
you know
No
that there's
cap,
a chance
no
that there could be a
shade.
burglar,
Freeload.
you don't have the right
freeload.
to unalive anybody who enters
Freeload.
illegally.
Freeload. Did you come out of your mother's vagina or out of her butthole? Because it's given butt baby.
all right. Either way, this is getting kind of out of hand, to be honest.
He's got
It is.
nothing. This is
To butt baby?
a bad
I
faith.
got nothing to butt baby.
This
Yeah.
This just address the
So by owning a home, do you give up the right to
What are
protect
you
your property
talking about?
because
Owning a home? Yes,
so are
if
you
you
legally
buy a
justified?
house, yeah, free nude. If you buy a house, you assent
to the possibility that that house might have a plumbing issue or an electrical issue, or there might be a fire. Okay, yes, you assent to all of the possibilities that could go wrong with home ownership. Okay, just like if you smoke cigarettes, right? You go out and smoke a pack of cigarettes every single day, you are consenting to smoking cigarettes. You are assenting to getting cancer. Okay.
So if I get cancer from smoking cigarettes, am I allowed to treat the cancer?
Let me finish. You
Oh
have
my
two
God. Or do I
ears.
have to let the cancer
You
grow?
have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Okay.
Period.
So if I smoke cigarettes,
You shouldn't have access to
if I
medical.
smoke excuse me, hello, woman talking. Stop being misogynist.
Respectful woman.
Stop being misogynist. Let the woman speak. So if I go out and smoke a
you might
pack of
wanna say no.
cigarettes every
Respectful
single
woman.
day, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, I have a uterus. Let me talk. Thank you. You don't have a uterus. Shut up. So
Probably hasn't been
if I
used in a
go and
while.
smoke cigarettes and I get cancer, okay, I assented to the possibility of getting cancer. Okay, so now I am pissed because I have cancer. Okay, can I go unalive the convenience store clerk who sold me the cigarettes because I'm unhappy with the outcome of the risk I took?
Oh, Matt.
Wait, are you forced to let the cancer grow inside you for 9 months?
Well, if
Are
the
you not
cancer,
allowed to treat
if
it?
the cancer, excuse me, I'll answer that. If the cancer was a human being, yeah, I would be
Does the
morally
cancer have human
obligated.
DNA?
If the cancer, excuse me, if the cancer, this is my answer. Do you want to hear it? If the cancer was a human being that I put in a state of dependency because I wanted to smoke cigarettes, yes, I would be morally obligated to allow the cancer to grow and be born into a big cancer
So
ball.
by smoking, you put the cancer in a state of dependency on your body.
You can't be real. You gotta be fake. There's no way he existed.
Why
There's
does
no
this
way.
guy sound like
Oh
Fat
my
Tucker?
God. So Free, can I ask you a question?
Was that the question?
Are you ontologically confused?
No, not at all.
Is it in your telos to be unintelligent?
Do you always resort to insults, personal insults, when you're stuck in your argument?
So,
And
okay,
it's been completely destructive?
So you didn't answer my
Given an
question.
argument.
So can you give me an argument that you're not ontologically confused and it's not in your telos to be unintelligent? Premise 1, premise 2, and a conclusion, please.
The fuck?
Look, guys.
All right.
It doesn't sound
What the hell
harmonious.
is that, Max? That's
guys, it's
disgusting.
getting distracting. This is for another time. But
It's a scorpion.
Free, yeah. Well, answer her question.
What does that got to do with the abortion discussion?
Okay, so premise 1 that
So
you're
you're
not
pivoting away. You're pivoting away from the topic completely because why? You're stuck.
No, because
and I've answered
you
all of your
haven't
arguments.
tracked
I've
for the
rebutted
last
all of your
for-
arguments, and
since
now
you've
you
been
want
up
to
here,
focus on me.
You haven't tracked
I haven't
the
even given you an
conversation.
argument.
Okay, so premise
I have tracked
1 that
100%
you're
of
not
the conversation.
ontologically
Not only have I
confused.
tracked it, but I've
Premise
destroyed your
2
arguments.
that it's not in your
We haven't
telos
given you
to
an
be
argument.
unintelligent, and a conclusion that you're not a moron. Go.
You proving that I'm a moron does what to your ability to argue
She didn't
with
prove
said
it. She was
moron?
asking you.
Premise 1 that you're
If you
not
can't beat me in an
ontologically
argument, but you
She's
claim I'm a
asking
moron,
for your
what does that
argument.
make you?
She's
Oh
asking
my gosh.
for your argument.
You want my argument that I'm not a moron, so you want to pivot away from the abortion discussion completely.
You know why we're not
Talking about buying
pivoting,
houses
right?
and shit.
It's because the sad part about it is that you're so ontologically confused that you do not know that you've been dog walked.
So according to your worldview, people who smoke cigarettes shouldn't have access to health care. If they
Okay,
get
so
cancer.
once
Listen,
again,
wouldn't
okay,
entail-
listen,
Yeah.
listen, Dodo Bird.
Wouldn't
Hold
be able to
on.
entail that
Hold on. Can
that
somebody
abortion
mute
stuff,
him
yeah.
so we can say this?
Okay.
This would not be
Come on,
analogous
guys,
to
let's get 'em.
pregnancy because if I decide to smoke cigarettes, I made a decision to smoke cigarettes and put myself in this state of depravity. When we're talking about a mother and child, okay, we're talking about a mother putting her child into a state of depravity. So this would not be analogous, but you won't be able to track that for whatever reason. And I said it
Answering the
really
question
slow
entirely.
and explained it in
So
small
you're adding
words.
an extra body. So
No,
do people who
there
smoke
is a
cigarettes, do you
fucking
believe that they should have access to
guys,
medical
hold
treatment
on.
because they made a choice to
Hello,
smoke
that's
cigarettes and give
fine.
themselves cancer?
free
That's
nudes,
fine.
free nudes,
Yes or
free
no?
nudes. Listen, if you have schmacks and you get an STD,
Yes or
we
no?
hey, free nudes. If you
If you
have
give yourself
schmacks,
cancer, should
if
you
you have
be allowed
free
access to
nudes,
treatment?
I'm going to tell you the answer.
Just yes or no. Just be
I'm
real
gonna tell
quick.
you. I listen to what I'm
Yes
saying.
or no?
Listen.
Guys, come on.
If you get an STD by having schmecks,
Yes or
you
no?
get to treat the STD. Do you want to know why? Because treating an STD and treating cancer and treating diabetes, if
Oh
you
my God, what a dumb
yeah,
fuck.
treating that doesn't unalive somebody, okay? That's why we allow you to treat cancer. That's why we allow you to treat an STD. That's why if you want to eat all the fucking cupcakes in the whole world and you get diabetes, we're going to allow you to treat your diabetes.
Okay, so it's legally and morally and ethically permissible to unalive other people.
Free nudes.
We've already established that.
Free nudes. You're missing the big point here. We are against unaliving. We're against unaliving other people. We're not against treating disease. Okay, we're against we're against unaliving other people. Okay, you treat your cancer, you treat your STD, you treat your diabetes if you caused it, but you can't unalive someone else because of your decisions.
Yeah, Olive, I don't think this guy has like the intellectual capacity.
Yeah, you're right. We should have dropped
I
him
think we
an hour
specify
ago.
someone.
Yeah, like this is crazy.
Why does he?
Let's move on. Sorry. Y'all have way too much patience.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we don't have any other ops, though. We don't have any other ops. Right,
You know
any
who else?
other?
You know who else has the intellectual capacity of a dog? It's Shadia down there in the comment section. She can't track either.
She's a complete fucking moron.
She's stupid, bro. Incredibly
You didn't
stupid.
really substantiate any form of self-defense.
They're probably
principle.
married.
You
would
know,
have to.
Olive, you know what I notice about people? I've noticed whenever you have some dumbass on panel, they just spout nothing but just, idiocracy. You're gonna always have another dumbass that comes to rescue and be like, W. It's okay. All the dumbasses conspiring with each other. It's hilarious.
Well, that's the thing. It proves a problem. They're simping for each other. They're white knighting. So.
I got one song to sing.
Oh.
It's hard out here for a simp.
Wait, hold on, guys.
Trying to come up money for the rent.
Question:
What?
Do any of you guys know who Art Apologist is? The clown.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my God, that guy is disgusting.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Protect. Tell them what I did to Art. Like, what day is it?
Oh, well,
yeah.
I forget how it went. How did the conversation go again? I forget.
Yeah, we're talking about rights and his abortion stance.
Yes. How did that go again? Wasn't he like asserting that rights like exist?
Yes, not prove they don't exist.
Yes.
Fucking morons.
Yeah, I think he didn't give the argument that they existed. I think you should tell him because I can't really remember.
Also, too, like I forgot whose panel he was on, but he was saying that 16-year-olds can consent.
Ew.
Yeah,
What?
so I was like, what do you mean 16-year-olds can consent?
Well, I mean, it depends what state you're in. I'm not going to say.
No, but he was saying, so I asked him, I said, so you mean to tell me that a 16-year-old can consent to having schmacks with a 60-year-old man? And he was like, yes. And I was like, bro. And he was like, well, just don't say bro. and because we brought up two 16-year-olds having schmacks. So I was like, from my worldview, the 16-year-olds are not consenting. They're ascending to the act. So, no, they can't consent. They can't ascend to this act, but they don't understand the risk and everything that come with it.
It's wild.
Yeah, but he was saying like a 16-year-old can consent to having schmacks with a 50-year-old. And made me explain it to him.
Wow.
He's pretty gross.
That's wild. This was when, the other night?
I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago. It was on Kenna something.
Yeah, it was
Debates?
It was on this girl's panel, and I was like, "Bro, are you fucking serious right now?"
we got into a conversation where
He's a disgusting man.
yeah, Captain Planet. We were talking about the abuse. Like he abused I think 3 of his ex-girlfriends. I can't remember. That's just
Wow.
conversation for another day though. Self-defense. Yeah.
Yeah, a 16-year-old can consent.
Well, I guess it depends on what state you're in. I'm not gonna say where I'm in.
I don't care if whatever state
I
you're
think
in.
18-year-olds can consent, to be honest with you.
Me neither.
I'm going to go to bed. I said I was going to go to bed like 45 minutes ago, so I'm really going to bed now. Do you want to drop me Protect for the algorithm? I love you guys.
You're gonna need as much beauty sleep as you can.
Thank you to come again.
Literally laying
All right,
down.
there's 23
on
y'all.
my
Y'all
pillow.
can now be pro-lifers. If you're pro-choice and 18 plus, please request up. Come up and explain to me how your extra qualifiers separate you from the mustache man, slavery, and grape. And yeah.
That Joey guy was annoying. I've seen him before. Like he kept interjecting. It's like, dude, I'm not talking to you. And the other person too, above next to Pivot.
I remember when Mac, when I first started debating, I thought art apologists was supposed to be smart, but he says a lot of stupid shit.
Because he hangs out with Vegan and Red Ion and his crew. That's why.
They're all
Vegan
a bunch
is-
of they're
by the
all
way,
a bunch of
Vegan
they're all a
is-
bunch of degenerates.
Yeah, and Vegan was
Vegan
on
is
there
pro-
saying that
Hey, hold on. I know what you're gonna say, but Vegan, I don't let him.
Vegan is also pro pirates make small babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think they actually?
Vegan apparently is pro pirates make small babies.
Wait, do you think they actually believe these things? You're just saying this to win debates.
I think they actually do. Some of them, yes.
I don't know. I
actually
don't
think that a lot of
know.
them
I don't
actually
know.
believe this. There are
I
choices
think
people in
Art
this
really
world.
believes that a 16-year-old
I
can
truly believe it,
consent,
yes.
which is pretty gross.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that there are a lot of pro-choice women out there who genuinely and by pleasure means like offing unborn children.
It's empathy. Oh no.
Vagina.
Yo, my brother.
Well, wait.
I'm so tired. I can't stand his voice. Stupid
Yo,
Australians.
empathy, my brother. Guess what we got cooking? Watch this.
What?
I don't want to see that damn scorpion.
No, not scorpion fool. Look, got some pot roast, beef pot roast.
Okay.
Oh, I see some corn on the
Take out-
cob. I see some corn. They're looking delicious, and potatoes. Yum.
Yeah, I would take out the. I would eat that, but I would take out the corn and potatoes and carrots.
Bro,
It looks like it
why-
was sentient. It's disgusting.
Mac, why do you have a bowl of dandruff?
Where? I don't have dandruff.
Need to do Star Protect.
I got a question for
You're
Misty.
sadly going down.
Wait, Misty. I saw you in my live last night. I'm surprised you stayed around for that long.
Yeah, I like vegan ethics. I'm a vegan myself.
Wait, hold on. I got a question, Misty. One question. So, as a vegan, is your quest to mitigate as much harm as possible?
What do you mean?
Like to stop as much harm possible to sentient beings? Like, would you take it to be the case that doing any action that will limit, the amount of deaths?
No, this would lead to absurdity.
Wait, what?
The question I said I have to say no because it might lead to absurdity if I said yes.
Wait, no to what? What do you mean by no?
To the question that you're asking about is it wrong like to harm all sentient beings? Is that what you're asking me?
No, no, I'm asking like with being a vegan, would you say that limiting as much harm as possible is something that we all
He's,
do?
he's basically asking if you hold to deontology or threshold deontology.
I love threshold deontology.
I wouldn't say so, not when it comes to like animals and things of that nature, no. When it
Okay.
comes to humans, yes, but not when it comes to animals. Because like I mean, there's gonna be some harm done.
Okay. Would you
Like
say
irregardless of what you do, like even when you grow avocados, there's gonna be some harm done to like sentient animals
would
and
you say
harvesting them.
trying to limit as much harm possible is what you aim for?
I think you should, but
Okay.
it's still gonna happen.
So what do you I have a proposition. Let's just say that in a hypothetical world, not even a hypothetical world, fuck that. Um, let's just say one burger. Let's say one burger goes at the expense of one cow versus one head of lettuce that goes at the expense of 7,000 animals. Which one would you consume with regards to like mitigating harm? As much harm as
Oh,
possible.
no, Mac, I've got an even better reductio than that.
I wouldn't
So,
consume. I mean, but that's not. How is that
You have to
possible?
eat. I'm just asking like which one to consume? One burger that goes at the expense of one cow, or one head of head lettuce that was like would like killed seven. Let's say to cultivate one head of lettuce went at the expense of 7,000
now,
animals.
now, to be fair, said so lettuce can be vertically aeroponic, hydroponic, or aquaponically farmed.
They
So,
can, yeah, that is true.
yeah, also said burger can be lab grown.
Yes, that is very true. That's also very true. So I got
Yeah,
a
but
question, Mister. What if burgers were lab grown? Would you eat them?
yes.
Oh, okay. All right. What about let's just say I do want you to answer the first hypothetical. Let's just imagine
Oh god.
one head of lettuce.
Oh
What
no.
it was at the expense of 7,000 animals. 7,000 animals be like rodents, birds, insects, whatever. And that one burger you ate was at the expense of like, a cow, whatever. Which one would you eat to mitigate harm?
I don't know. I would eat the lettuce. No, I would
Even
eat
it,
the burger.
okay, eating the burger. Okay, cool. So how do you feel about like every year billions of animals perish due to like vegetable cultivation?
Well, I mean, but
It's
more animals unalive through meat cultivation.
actually very false, Mr. Mac. So what you're referring to, the crop deaths,
Hey,
it
you
actually
shut the fuck up, you motherfucker, you.
Yeah,
it,
more animals unalive through like eating meat than through like veggie cultivation, if I'm correct.
it's 8 billion crop deaths. 80% of that accumulates from crop production to feed 96 billion land animals. On top of that, Mr. Mac, soy production, which is about give or take 3 billion, is the biggest source of crop production to feed those animals that you consume.
Interesting. How do you feel about, let me ask you a question. What do you guys think about millions of animals dying each year on roads? Do you think we should unearth all of our freeways?
Under what?
Yeah. What do you think about unearthing all of our freeways?
No, I don't think that we should unearth our
Well, why?
freeways. And this would,
That's gonna
but
reduce
this
harm
would
as
go
much as
back to
possible.
what I was saying before, Mac,
But
right?
Misty, do you know how many
What
animals die each year on roads?
I
Like freeways.
understand that. I
So,
understand that,
like
Mac, but
if you're
can
for
I finish talking?
decreasing harm, you should
But
just get rid of
Mac,
all freeways. Then.
this would go back to what I said before, right? I know, okay, that some harm to animals is unavoidable. So I'm not going to say that somebody shouldn't build a road or a bridge that's going to help people get to work and feed
There's other
their
ways to get to where
families
we can take the
because it
horse.
might misplace
We
wildlife.
can take a horse. There's different ways to get to work. Just like people did in
Shut
the
your fat
1800s.
bitch mouth up.
Oh, hush, boy. There's other ways to get to work. You can walk. You can take a horse, like people did in the 1800s. Why not? If it's going to reduce harm as much as possible, I say get rid of all roads and freeways. If you hold to that view, I
Well,
would
Mac,
agree with
well,
you.
Mac, I have a question. Wouldn't you be harming the horse by doing that?
No, actually,
Exactly.
it's actually good for the horse to like, carry. I guess you could say like not extensive loads or whatever, but it's good for the horse to have, some sort of exercise. It makes it stronger, it makes it do whatever. So I wouldn't say it's inherently harmful to the horse.
Steve, got a
I
question.
love horses.
All right. So what about given a case, right? We're in the middle of a jungle, and there is a not.
I don't want to talk about vegan ethics anymore because
guys,
it
hold on a
gets me
second.
very
Listen,
upset.
No, it's not vegan ethics.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Hold on.
Guys, wait. What's up, my brother? Assalamu alaikum.
Ham and salami.
Wait,
What?
Misty, no, wait. No, Misty, hold on, wait. Wait, what's up, my brother? How are you doing?
Nah.
I'm good, brother. Alhamdulillah. And you?
Ham.
No, that's haram. No, Misty, no, take a lap. No, that's haram.
So decisive.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. Alhamdulillah. And you?
Doing pretty good. Just going live right now. How's everything?
You know him?
It's good, brother. I mean, I just woke up. Now I'm in this life.
Wait, you know him?
Yeah, I know him. He's pretty chill. It's my Muslim brother.
Yeah, so you don't want me talking about Islam, so don't talk about veganism to me.
Pro-life? Is he pro?
Misty, hold on. You're a Mormon. I don't want to hear it.
I'm not a Mormon. I'm a
Yes,
Christian.
you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, because I was raised Mormon does
You are
not
a Mormon.
mean that
You're a
I'm
Mormon.
still a Mormon.
You're a black
okay,
Mormon.
Matt?
You're a black
No,
Mormon.
I'm
which
not a
doesn't make any
Mormon.
sense.
I go to church. I'm in a non-denominational. Why do you like pissing me off all the time, Matt?
All right.
Like, what the fuck is your fucking problem?
All right. Hello.
What the fuck, man?
Wait, is your friend pro-life?
You're just a fucking asshole.
Okay.
I
is
am an
your-
asshole. I
Language,
admit
please.
that. I am very
Wait,
much
is
an
your
asshole.
friend pro-life or pro-choice? This is
I'm
probably
just playing
gonna be the
around,
last-
Misty. Relax. Calm down.
This is probably going to be the
Oh,
last.
fuck off.
Hello.
What's your language? What's your language, please?
All right, guys. This is going to be the last conversation.
And I
Give me the
didn't
last
mute her, by the way.
conversation.
She muted.
All right, this is going to be the last conversation. Are you pro-life or pro-choice? Hello, Max friend.
Yes, brother.
Is he pro-life or pro-choice?
He doesn't debate this topic, to be fair.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't debate this topic.
Oh.
Yeah, Misty, chill out. Relax.
No, you chill out. Every time you see me on the panel, the first thing you want to talk about is the fact that I grew up Mormon or the fact that I'm a fucking vegan.
That is not remotely
and I asked
true.
you not to fucking do it.
Wait, hold on.
Like I've asked you 1,000 times
Just to
not
be
to
fair,
do
wait, hold
it.
on. Just to be very
Like
clear,
I don't bring up your
hold
fucking
on.
shit, Mac,
Okay,
because
guys.
I'm not a fucking asshole.
Hello. This is
Okay,
not
yeah.
the
So
place
just to
for
be very
this.
clear, Misty, I don't even care nor talk about your religion. Also, I just be playing around with you just like everybody else does, including yourself. So I don't see how that's a problem. I don't like what are you talking about?
This is not the place for this. Like this.
About the whole Mormon stuff or the whole vegan stuff, right? Because
What do you
I've
mean by
asked
playing?
them
Wait, what do
not
you mean by
to
playing? What do you mean by
1,000
playing?
times.
What do you mean by
But
playing?
unlike
What do you mean
you,
by
okay,
playing?
you just don't fucking.
Okay,
What do you mean by
guys,
playing?
guys. This is not the place for it. Like, take it elsewhere. All right,
What do you mean by playing?
guys.
If you
Me
guys,
asking
want
questions.
to hold up.
People asked you to stop,
Misty,
and you
Misty,
don't
Matt.
fucking stop.
Guys, I will
Stop
post
what?
a live if you
I
two
barely
want to get
talk
all
to
this
you.
frustration out, but respect Voiceless. He said he doesn't want this on his live. I will happily go live if you two want to get things over and done with.
I might as well end because this is now getting out of hand.
I don't know why Misty got her panties in a bunch. Like one, just playing around with her, and also I'm also too. I barely even talk to you as is. The one time I mentioned something about Mormonism, you have an issue. Like what?
Because I've asked people, I don't talk about it. And I've asked
you
people
said
not
people?
to bring it
You
up.
said